remove you. All right, guys, we're here. Well, I'm here. Patrick's on his way. He's I hit live too soon for him. It was he's busy getting some water. But welcome everyone. We're gonna have a Pat and Kels are back. Gotta love you know, the best show on YouTube. We're finally back. We're back and streaming and feels good, man. It's been quite the week for Manchester City. We've got the squeaky bum time is back. We've got a last minute winner, last minute goal line clearance to preserve a win. Just chaotic stuff, man. Not what we're used to in Manchester City. And so once Pat gets here, we're definitely gonna have a discussion on what's going on.
I'm right here. But yes, thank you.
There he is. Wait, I can fix this. I think I can. No, I don't like that. Why is this being weird?
What formation? Well, like this is okay. This is okay. I'm okay with this.
Okay. It just the spacing is weird.
What do you want?
That's better.
Okay, grand, yeah.
That's better. Well, welcome, Pat.
Yeah, grand, yeah. So obviously we're close. We were close to not doing the show, but at least have the time. So before I start off, I'm just going to say a few things before I start off. There's a few people in the comments there. But before I start off anyway, whoever watches this later, first of all, I wanted to address one of the situations that happened in one of the streams. I forgot the watch along. Was it the Leeds United watch along? There was a comment made towards Kels, which I think was an unfair comment. Obviously, that has been we've settled it how it is outside the camera, but I just feel it was a very unfair comment, and I think everybody who was involved did say the same thing. And as I said, we spoke in the back, and I'm pretty sure that's not the image somebody would like to portray of somebody. So it was a very unfair comment. And obviously, we are like a family here most of the times, and we do jokes. But I think sometimes banter or some comments, they will look like banter or comments, but sometimes they can get a bit out of it, you know, because you might think you're bantering yourself, but you know, people outside might take it somewhere else, you know, and it might put a bad image. So I think that was just an unfair thing to do. Unfortunately, I wasn't active there, but at least we spoke outside, and hopefully going forward, we don't have such things happening, because I can imagine if somebody said something similar to me, regardless what context it's in, I think it would just look bad. And you know, the internet, people go crazy. And I did assure Kels that people here, all of you here who watch, are very supportive. And we've been going on, and you're always still very supportive. And we don't really have viewers who are like a bit of assholes, because I've seen viewers who are assholes before. I've been on panels where things have been said told me that I don't represent Man City. I think I've shared that with Kels before. I used to be told that. That was the time when I was everywhere, because I was the only Man City available content creator. The rest didn't want to go anywhere. So people were saying I don't represent them. But it's just sometimes people have to be careful what they say, because words can cut through, you know. But I'm always very happy with Kels, regardless whatever situation is there, especially in my personal life, where I am not regularly here, but she's always regularly here. And for her to have the courage to come back immediately and still say the show has to go on, because she knows how much the channel means to me and how it means to herself and everything. Like, I give her props, because everybody I did tell her that take it. So everybody would say I want to take time off, but I like her. Like, this is why the reason why when we met, I did feel that she is somebody who is capable of doing something like this, even though she didn't believe in herself. I remember she told me that she's like, Patrick, I will never in my life run your channel or run a stream on my own. You're lying to yourself. That's what she told me. She's like, if you ever tell me that, I'll go. That's what she told me. She's like, I'll be gone. I don't want to do it. But a few years later, she's there doing it herself, there featuring on the channel. So big up to everybody who stuck with us. And as I said, we did discuss all this outside the camera, and I'm pretty sure you'll never see that happen again. Because as I said, some things may look like banter or may look like just things to say, but they're very helpful, you know. And then for me, my second thing is, as I told people on Twitter, you might not see me on streams. You were not going to see me on stream today, but fair enough. I'm waiting for something. I'm still waiting for a phone call. So I might be going away. I'll be going away for treatment, and hopefully I don't stay in hospital for long. But even if I'm in hospital, I will still try to watch the shows. Maybe they'll keep me busy. But I'm pretty sure Kels will be giving you updates of everything. But as I said, I'm going for a procedure. I'm not really going to get into it, but that's what I'm going to. But I was supposed to go in yesterday or today, so. But I'm still here waiting on word, you know. But anyway, welcome to the show, and it's been a lot. As you said last week, this is 20, so 20 feels special, even though 19 was 19, but 20 because you know, when you get to 10, it's happiness. It's 1-0, now it's 2-0 to 20. And people are still watching the show. People are appreciating the show. I share the comments with Kels. Some of the comments, some people are happy with Kels. They're always happy. That's why I send comments to everybody. I even send comments to Mateus because when he runs the show, he gets his own comments. I share every comment, by the way, to people. And people obviously will see, and it's appreciative. Everything has been positive. I'm pretty sure I shared a comment recently, Costa, where we were actually called that we have the most honest show, which was very heartwarming, isn't it? It was during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we just tell it like it is, man. And some people don't like to hear what we have to say, but you know, I'm gonna say it. I say the same thing on every show. I try not to change, you know. Sometimes I'll get more input or whatever, and maybe my opinion will change, but I generally think I'm pretty consistent across the shows. And you know, every channel has its own vibe too. I know I get very heated and emotional and whatever, but that's just who I am.
Yeah,
I got some feedback yesterday. Apparently I talk too fast. I'm like, that's just who I am. I'm just, when I get excited, I can't shut up. That's just me getting excited. And
wait, where did you get? Well, you got feedback. Was it from a comment?
Oops, what just happened? Sorry, something just happened. Did you just call me?
No, you called me. It said answer or
I don't know what
decline.
happened there. Sorry, there was a phone call or something, but no, I saw
Wait,
it. I was on the stream yesterday, and someone in the comments.
Are you on your phone?
No, I'm on my laptop. I had WhatsApp open, so I closed WhatsApp, and I must have like accidentally hit call by mistake. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I have WhatsApp on my phone, and it's also on because my phone and my laptop are connected because I'm in the Apple cult, and so I think I just accidentally hit call for. So
Wait. This now makes sense. Because there was a time where you were looking for a laptop and you were being very corny about it. I was like, why is she being specific? Why is she saying, "Oh, I have to look. I have to look." I was like, "There's a lot of laptops." So you are one of the apples, and basically you were just looking for the next close best apple to the one you had.
Yeah, it's just basically the upgraded version of the one I already had. With twice the memory. Because my problem was my other computer ran out of memory because it was. I guess when I bought it back in like 2017, I think. And they just came with the standard like lower set of memory. And so I travel a lot, so I take a lot of pictures, so my memory gets eaten up pretty fast. And my other one literally ran out of memory. I was down to like 1 or 2 gigabytes. I was like, "Ooh, isn't that good?" But I found the one I wanted at Costco. Costco has the best prices. And
Costco.
Yeah, and I think it's been because also the battery on that one was like really bad, and it would overheat, and it was shutting down. It was a mess. So
okay,
this new one is great.
What's this anyway? Why am I getting
Honesty is
Man United is playing against West Ham. I didn't know about that.
Oh, is that game started?
No, I don't know. I don't think it started. It says
Yeah, they're
lineups.
playing today.
Yeah, so it's at 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I don't think I'm gonna
Because
watch it.
lineups always get sent out early. That's
Yeah.
going to be the biggest mid off, and they don't have Paqueta so in West Ham, so they won't look that great to be honest. So anyway, today's show is episode 20. Uh, who is to blame? Is the question Pep Guardiola or the players? That's the first one. I should have said who's to blame, not who is to blame. It's who's to blame. I don't know why I wrote it like that. Who is to blame? I don't. Fuck it. Who cares?
I think
I
they
don't.
both work.
Yeah. So Sunderland match preview. So I don't put workload on Kelster
Mid
because
off.
if I don't do the Sunderland preview, that means Kelster has a workload, and she's very famous, so she might be in a lot of places.
I'll do a preview tomorrow. Hey Luke, if you're in the chat, I'm gonna send you a message. Maybe you could join me tomorrow because I felt like we had a really good preview a couple weeks ago. So I'll hit you up.
And that she can do an intense one with a lineup. We can just briefly touch on it. But, so let me ask you this, Charles. There's a lot of blame happening, and I've seen it everywhere. And it's not only on group chats. It's not only on Twitter. It's everywhere. Even when you go on Facebook and let's say Facebook random. I think I used to be in a lot of groups, or not groups, but sort of I used to follow Man City groups, but I don't use Facebook that much. But I just checked a few things just to see before I do the show, just a bit of research. Everybody's talking about the same. Some people are pointing at Pep. Some people are saying the quality is not good. I think we've reached a point where I broke down things today. I think you saw in the chat. And these things I sat down and thought about it. I also sat down and
call.
Yeah, I missed it. Yeah, so I also sat down and thought about it. I was like, what's going on really? Because I think if you sit there as a team right now in 2025, I'm talking about even let me give an example. Any team in the Prem right now, if you said, "Oh, I am going to sign Cherky, Tijani Reinders, and I'm going to sign in Nori, and I'm going to sign Kusanov and Omar Mamouche," I don't think any team says, "Piss off! I'm not going to pick up those players." Because my point was this: Tijani Reinders, right, was the MVP at Serie A, and then I remember when we signed him, there was pundits saying this is probably the biggest steal you'd ever see. This is probably a player where a lot of teams were trying to obviously woo him into going to that team, and City have just quietly picked him up. Great. Kusanov, I heard the same thing, saying everybody wanted him. Madrid were looking at him as a young centre back before the Bournemouth centre back. They signed. Spurs really wanted him. Spurs really wanted him. I like he didn't go to Spurs because my God, I think him and Van de Ven could have saved.
God.
They could have saved Angie's thing with the high line because both of them are so fast. There could have been no way of counter-attacking Spurs. I hear a lot of Premier League teams are looking at Kusanov. Victor Reis, a lot Chelsea, as always.
From what I've
heard. Yeah, Chelsea likes famine in Brazil. They like youngsters from Brazil. They go picking them up. They were looking at him. Victor was the it thing that everybody wanted. It's the next thing. Omar Mamouche, Kels, you adore this player. You said everybody saw it. He was the top goal scorer. He was still top goal scorer even after he left. Nobody was still topping him up. And all I'm trying to say is, are we really starting to just use the excuse of saying the players are not good enough? Because I'm looking at them and say, if I was a United fan or a Chelsea fan and you're giving me Omar Mamouche, Chelsea is taking Omar Mamouche.
They're not benching him.
Yeah, they're not. They're taking him. Chelsea's taking Kusanov. They'll roll a red carpet for Kusanov. They are struggling. The defenders are poor. The defenders have no pace, and they say only Fafana is good. The rest are horrible. All I'm trying to say is, I don't even think you can. It's very hard. I don't know if you point at the manager, or you point at the institute as a whole, or you point at the players. Because as I say, these players, some of them you can pick them. Because even look, we have been shitting on Savinho. But let's not forget, he was the only one who was assisting Haaland last season. He was the only one cooking last season as a wing. Wasn't he the La Liga team of the season and one of the MVPs in La Liga? Wasn't he one of the best? He was beating Vini in numbers. convenient performance. I don't get it. What's
Just a
happening?
quick reminder, Savinho last season had more assists to Holland than Doku has in 3 years.
That's what I'm saying.
So, you know.
It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. We sit there and we're shitting on these players, but I was like, do we really have to shit on these players? Because number two, guys, I also went deep down and dug that after Kels shared something today that the Man City team is running a bit too much. And then Liverpool fans were saying, we told you so. Pep Linders will run the shit out of your players and they'll get tired. Remember our Liverpool team? We used to get bopped in second half and we used to say, what the hell is going on? And then we talk about our defending where we keep going 5 at the back. PTSD from last season. We're 5-1. Why are we soaking up pressure at 5-1? PTSD from last season. We think, oh, let's just defend. Let's show. Maybe Pep is like, let me show people I can defend also. But the thing is, these players are not built for what he's looking for. They're not Sean Dyche, Burnley. So I don't know, Kelsey. So that has been my thinking throughout all this. That who is to blame for all this? Because believe it or not, that conversation you were having with Carl, I think what he was trying to say is, he was saying something similar to me, that you don't take a Foden who is best ability is to attack and kill the opposition until Foden soak up pressure and defend. They look lost when you tell them that. And who is this? Do you think it's Pep Linders? Do you think it's Kolo Toure, his assistant, or do you think Pep Guardiola is having PTSD from last season and thinks that, oh, let me just soak pressure, or he says, let me prepare them for the future where I need them to park the bus? I'm lost because I think, Kelston, if City continue attacking somebody, I think that other team will struggle. Am I wrong to say that? I don't know. There's a lot of, I don't know what answer to give.
That's a very long question you asked me.
I know.
I have a very long-winded answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, I think a lot of it, I think this has kind of been brewing for years. Because what have I been saying for a long time? After the treble, even before the treble, we started buying players who don't suit Pep. We bought Erling Haaland, who thrives in a more of a transition direct type team. I think Phil Foden plays better in that as well, and we've seen that this season. The following summer, after the treble, we bought Mateus Nunes, who thrived in that at Wolves. We bought Mateo Kovacic, who does like to go back and forth. I wouldn't really call him a possession guy, even though he can keep it. I think he really likes like playing, just going at it type thing. We bought Jeremy Doku, who's very good, very fast. He likes to play that way as well. Then the following summer, we bought Savinho. Same thing. He likes to run. He likes to be direct and cross the ball and that kind of stuff. Like that kind of highlights a lot of those players. So that's half of our team, basically.
And then you got Omar Marmoush, who thrives in counter-attack.
Yeah, he's also that kind of player. He thrived at Frankfurt from inverting behind the striker. Him and Ekitike just had this, because they were right next to each other. And they just went for it, and it was one of them was always scoring or assisting the other one. That's just how it was like. It was like literally 2 up top, basically. Even though on paper it was like, 3 at the 3 behind the striker type thing. Okay, and then we bought Pep Linders, but over the summer we bought possession players. We bought Tijani Reinders, who's a possession player. You can see from him this back and forth is not suiting him very well at all. Ryan Cherky can't do the running back and forth either. I think he lacks some fitness. I'm not saying he's got like a bad attitude or anything, but he could probably use a little more fitness. He might be able to get that fitness to run it, but for now he's not really like a running guy. He's a possession, hold it, set the tempo kind of player. And you saw before the break, this most recent international break, we were playing more direct and we were slapping teams and we weren't conceding goals. And then Pep had a question from the media saying like, are you going to change your style to fit your players? And he's like, no, I'm always going to play my style. And then we come back from this break and we're trying to play this possession ball. Like the last part of the game. I don't know. We're not playing like we were before the break. I don't know if it's because the opposition set up, but all of a sudden we're wide open. Nobody can hold on to the ball. And it just seems like the club doesn't know what they're doing in a sense because like I said, they bought players who don't necessarily suit Pep. Then they bought in a manager who has a philosophy that's
But
completely different
he
from Pep.
accepted that, didn't he? Though, sorry for cutting you, but he accepted that because let's not forget, I told people that there is no way with managers like Klopp, Pep, Ancelotti, and them that you tell them, oh, here is so and so, whether you like it or not. Do you get my point? You can't go to Pep Guardiola and say here is so and so. I think Pep has to say yes in a certain degree. Because I know people were like, oh, Pep never wanted so and so. I was like, bollocks.
Apparently, he doesn't know what to do with Marmoush. And I think it's very clear. And something's going on there. And I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to it. But if Pep is willing to discard over Marmoush this fast, the fact he got 0 minutes at Fulham, that's a problem. Because Omar Marmoush, he's not a backup. He needs to be starting games. And
he only brings him on he brings Omar and Cherky when shit hits the fan.
He doesn't bring Marmoush on though. That's the problem. He'd bring him on for 2 minutes a game. Like that's going to cause issues in the dressing room at some point because we paid $60 million for him. He's on $290K a week. I'm seeing tweets today about, we're trying to get the wage bill down. Well, you've got $290K sat on the bench. You've got $250K sat on the bench. You got $180K sat on the bench. So, and you just got the $290K. You just signed him. He hasn't even been here a year yet because it's not even January. He hasn't been here a year yet, and Pep doesn't want to use him. When Erling Haaland is, having bad attitude in some game, like he had a terrible attitude in the Leeds game. So there was talk, should we bench him? Now I'm hearing excuses about we can't bench Haaland ever because he has to play to get goal bonuses or he's going to be unhappy. I'm like, what? So when he gets injured from playing too much because he gets injured every year, is he going to whine about his goal bonuses then? I don't think so. So that is just, that is the most outrageous thing I think I've heard in a long time. So but just sorry, I got really derailed there. I just think it's the club has bought players that don't suit the manager. The manager doesn't know what to do with them. What is our play style right now? Are we playing tiki-taka possession? Are we playing direct play? Can the two mesh? I think what we're trying to do is put games away. And then I think the goal is to get up 5-1 and then play possession ball to hold on to the lead. But our players just are not, I think some of them just aren't good enough. Like right now, like Tijani Reinders, I expect him to hold the ball because I feel like that's more his thing. But maybe I'm wrong about Tijani Reinders, but Foden, I expect Foden to hold on to the ball more. Bernardo Silva, the captain, I think we're running him into the ground, and it's far too early for that. Like he does not look like a player who can play a full 90 anymore. Because if you notice in that Fulham game,
you do the job to 60
out
minutes.
at minute 60, and that's when the play started to decline. Bernardo gassing out plus Nico G coming off, the team just fell apart. I think we're misusing Bernardo. The only reason I think he had a good season at the end of last season is because we were only playing one game a week. And I think you can still get that out of him one game a week. He can play a full 90 one game a week. But when you start playing him every single game, which what the manager is doing, you're not going to get the best out of him. And when you're not getting, if he runs out of gas, it's like playing with a man down because he's just not offering anything. And that, again, that's not on the player. That's on the manager. So the manager is culpable for a lot of things going on here. I think the club has just not. I think we haven't figured out what our play style is. And so we've just been buying players that don't seem to suit. They don't suit a system. They don't suit the manager. They don't suit whatever's trying to be done. And it's just become a mess. So it's kind of like there's contrasting philosophies. And
let me ask you one thing before I forget though. But there's holes in all this, Kels. That's the reason why when I say the same things that you say, I'm questioning myself though. I'm like, okay, hold up. He keeps finding the formula and he keeps breaking it. You get it? And you're right. It's after the press. When they tell him in the press, they're like, oh, we like your new style, your new direct style. He's like, my friend, we won the treble playing possession football. Like he's trying to prove something later on because we've been cooking teams. I'm sorry, we've been cooking. We cooked Leeds United. We've been cooking teams. We cooked Fulham. And I don't care about people who are like, but it's Fulham, but it's Leeds. Look at Leeds United. They slapped Chelsea. Leeds United have just been unlucky. And you know what, Kels? I don't know if you watch Leeds. You know what they've done? Remember the two up front they did against us second half? The manager is clever. He's stuck to that and it's working. Yeah, they have stuck to that
in the second half of the game, and we can't like, where is our press? We don't have a press. When Doku also is one who I don't think he plays a full 90 most games. I think he has in a couple of games because he runs out of gas too.
Yeah.
For him, it's a fitness issue because he's young. He should be able to run more, but also the style he plays is just probably better in short bursts.
Have you noticed
that's not me ripping on the player. That's just me.
No. Have you noticed that they're all gassing up? Even the press is becoming even Haaland. That's why I'm saying, why don't you bring in Mamouche?
I don't think Doku presses very well, even before he kind of tires out. Right wing, whoever plays right wing doesn't seem to press. I mean, Oscar Bob does sometimes, but everybody's ready to run him out of town. Savinho's press is okay. Like, Marmouche is a presser, but he's not playing. So, like, like Julian Alvarez was a presser. And then, like, our press has just declined quite a bit. Bernardo can do it in spurts, but he's not. He's playing too much.
Doing it himself, though. He keeps doing it himself.
He's just not going to have the same stamina.
Yeah.
And people don't want to accept that. There's certain people who just don't want to accept that.
Yeah, it's sad. Did you see the game against the Fulham? It's sad. Bernardo is still pressing as if it's a treble season, and the rest are just standing. You saw that? He was
that's the problem. If our best presser is a 31-year-old who's gassed out after 60 minutes. Haaland has never been a presser. He's not going to change. That's never going to change. But you can get away with it if you have other pressers around him. Like, Foden can do better too. Foden can do better. I think Tijani could be doing better. Also, out of possession, our midfield is just atrocious.
Tijani Reinders. Oh,
Tijani Reinders out of possession is playing with the man down. He was walking. Useless.
He was walking. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to blame him or say anything, but people keep pointing at Silva. I'm sorry. Did you see Tijani when the counter was happening? At least Silva was running. Tijani was trying.
Yeah.
Tijani
tries a lot more than all these. I know I'm hard on him, but he definitely tries harder. It's just physically, I think he's starting to decline, and that's just inevitable. It's not his fault. It's just father time comes for everybody, and even the Energizer Bunny that he's been, it's starting to slip away, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault he's being asked to play 90-minute games. This is why I said don't start him against Leeds, and I got absolutely rinsed for that. And I was like, why do you need him against Leeds? Save him for the Fulham game, because I want him fresh in these away games, because I think we need his leadership and his mentality on these away games, because we're still very fragile. A lot of these players are still learning how to win, and they're facing a lot of adverse situations, and a lot of them are making mistakes. I'm going to include my best friend Joshko Vardial on that one. He loses his head a lot. Foden loses his head at times. Like the calming thing on against Fulham was Ryan Cherky when he came on. And notice when Cherky came on, Bernardo got a lot better.
Yeah, he did.
So maybe he still has a little spark in him, but still, I don't think we should be relying on him as much as we are. And that's a testament to some of that is failed recruitment, because like we said, he's doing the out of possession ball work and no one else is. Nico Gonzalez has to do the out of possession ball work for how many people? And you see him, he's completely gassed. Like he looks done.
You know what's funny? It's now becoming Nico FC. Isn't that funny? It's actually becoming Nico FC, because somebody was laughing at me. He's like, Patrick, your team, it's becoming Nico FC. I was like, no, I thought it was Haaland FC. No, he's like, no. We actually think it's Nico FC. Every time Nico goes off or he's injured like Villa, we stink.
We need a backup for our backup. And also, that's something that is the problem, because we don't know what's going on with Rodri. There's been teasing back and forth. Like first we overplayed him right off the bat after an injury. We overplayed him. Everyone said, don't start him against Napoli. And then he started him against Napoli. Like we didn't manage him well. He keeps getting injured. We have no idea what's going on.
Why did you do that, though?
All of a sudden, we have this Fulham sketchy game. All of a sudden, we're like, oh, yeah, he's coming back. It's like, where has he been the last 2 months? Kovacic, the fact that those two in particular are out is killing us, because Nico G's doing the best he can, but Nico G's been playing a 6 for like 2 or 3 months. He's still learning, and he's had good games, but he's had a lot of bad games too.
But isn't it quite funny, Kels? Isn't it quite funny that I sat down the other day and I was like, oh my God, if Kovacic was fit, we don't concede goals in those games, because he comes on and sits with Nico in the middle and they lock it up. Kovacic
like the Spurs game away last season, the two of them together was really good. And we never saw it again, because Pep just decided to play Gundogan instead. And I was just like, what?
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying he finds a formula. Like, the thing is, he finds a formula. Yeah, he finds a okay. What happened to the Cherky and Foden setup that was cooking? What happened? Why did he get rid of it? I thought it was cooking. Remember, I was like, oh my god, remember I said, how is Cherky and Foden managing to outrun some of these big, muscly midfielders? And so somebody said it's because they can keep the ball and they're very techy. You want to get the ball off them, they'll just outplay you. It was working, and Pep was like, no, Tejani, get back in. Get back in. Like, it's okay. Look, Tejani, I want him to succeed. I am desperate.
I'm not going to give up on him yet, but right now he's going through a rough patch. And the thing is the scouts should have seen that his out of possession is not very strong, and that his defensive work rate is not very high. They should have seen that, and
but there's a way you can play him, though.
But also buy someone who will do that. You buy someone like a Gibbs White who will do all the work for him, or Bernardo. But Bernardo, like we said, he's obviously he's physically declining, but he's also going to leave next season. So you have to replace that. So I think if you had brought Tijani in with, I know everybody hated it, but Morgan Gibbs White would be doing all that work Tijani's not doing. And also Tijani's way better. I think he's better, more like a 10.
I think so. Yeah.
Good positions. He finally scored a second
in the
goal.
Box. Yeah.
Like that's where I would prefer him. But the problem is like, sorry, my cat's jumping off of me, so that looks.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But you said the right thing. Yeah.
We need somebody to be like a 6'8", and I think we thought we were kind of getting that with him, and we've tried to experiment with him in the 6, and that has backfired major. He's terrible as a 6. I don't ever want to see that again, and that's not me blaming the player again. He's being he's being set up to fail when he's a 6. He's just not that guy.
What's his comment? He says Nico G has been good.
The structure is terrible. Nico G's been good this season. I don't think he's had any bad games this season.
He hasn't had a bad game. No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
Lackluster ones. I think since the break, I think his form has declined, which is ironic because he got.
Yeah, but he was cooking in those 2 games. He was cooking.
Hey, big up, Darsh. So I don't know. I think we have a problem. I think we thought Tijani was going to be like that solid 8. That solid physical 8, and he's just not. He's more of a 10, but then the 10 gets crowded because it's Foden, it's Turkey you'd rather have there, but that's where Tijani's best. We're lacking that like workhorse 8. Bernardo's trying his best. I'm going to give him credit, but sometimes he's playing on the wings and he can't help. And also, like I said, I'm beating a dead horse. He's running out of gas, and I don't think he can play the full 90s, and I don't think he can play that more than once a week. And so, I think I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about how much the starting 11 is playing right now. And I know it's very typical of a Pep team he finds a team and he sticks with it, but he usually doesn't do that till February, March. And then we do the whole run in. He's been running the same 11 since like October, September even. And they're not going to have any gas for the run in if there's no rotation at all.
But let me say this before I forget. It's good you've touched on that. But he's also at fault for one thing. He is trying so hard. I repeat this. I hope everybody hears me. He is trying so hard to find a place in this team for Nathan Ake and John Stones. He is trying desperately to do that. Do you know what's funny? Yeah, that's what I've noticed. But you know what's funny?
He doesn't want to play active.
Yeah, but do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny though? I'm sorry. Are you seriously, as a manager in 2025, seeing your team that it needs a solid defender in 2025? You're getting counter-attacked. You sit there and Pete Kusanov is sitting on the bench, and you're like, no, let me bring on a John Stones who can't run anymore. Let me bring on a Nathan Ake who his fitness is not the same, and the youngster, the 24, 23-year-old or whatever, I don't know how old he is, in Kusanov, who is a very pure defender, who can save our asses right now, who will put his body on the line, sit on the bench. Oh, we're struggling. We're struggling right now. Yeah, you know what? Now you can say him later, but there's another one. Like, oh, shit, it's 2-3. Maybe let me get, and these guys are opening at the back. They're leaving space at the back because they're so confident. I can do balls in behind and counter. Oh, who can I bring? let me bring in Savio, who is having a bad season and has so much spotlight on him. Savio is a very good footballer, but I think right now he's under pressure. But no, let me bring on Savio instead of bringing the top goal scorer in Bundesliga sitting on the bench, who will break the line and score. Savio is not clinical. Doku, the clinical maybe is 60%, but it's not clinical. Bob is not clinical. You have a clinical guy who can kill the game for you, and people are on, because most of the teams, when they get cocky with us now, are doing a high line. And now imagine if you have Haaland, let's say you bring on Cherky.
Together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You bring on Cherky, and Cherky with his passing and Foden with his passing. Now they have Haaland and Cherky doing counters on the teams that are being too cocky. You can kill them, and the team will be like, oh, let's sit back. Cherky's on, or Mama Mushi's on. Now Haaland is on. We might be in trouble. No. Teams can see, and you know the funny thing about Pep is he knows that other teams can see. They know that Savio's confidence is down the drain. They know the players know each other. They know that Oscar Bob's confidence is not great. That's why they don't care. They'll be like, leave Savio 1v1. He's not going to do anything. It's not any bad to Savio. I'm just saying, even right now, let me just say to the fan base, I think we have to lay off Savio. I think
leave him alone.
Yeah, I think we have to leave him alone. I think
he comes
reached the point where
Twitter's like, "Fuck this guy."
I know
like,
he's become a scapegoat.
Like, relax.
He's become the scapegoat. I think Savio has become the scapegoat. And you know what? It was fun when we were all bantering, saying, "Okay, this kid, this and that, Brazil passport." But I've seen people have gone too far now. Just let it go. It's let it go. It's not Savio's fault. And it's just, as I said, Pep keeps finding a formula and then he keeps ripping it apart. But what I'm saying is,
we had a comment. Big up Spartacus. He says Cherky and Foden didn't work for his high line man-for-man press. So that's when you were asking where Foden and Cherky was. That's his response to you.
Yeah, but I don't know. We were cooking though. That's all I can say.
All right, Rangers misprofiled. Yeah, kind of. The club will get Anderson. I don't know about that. Oh, here we go. Nico has been bad versus Newcastle, Leverkusen, and Leeds. Oh, kind of an interesting coincidence. They're all after the break. So
after the structure changed.
What changed? Was it the structure change after the break? I'm not sure. Maybe we got to get some tacticos in here because
Do you know what's funny though about all this? That's what I'm saying. We have to stop.
What do we complain about him changing? Now you're complaining about him changing? Wait, I don't understand.
No. When no, really, it's just the fact that he keeps flipping things that are working. We can't lie about that. He keeps flipping. And, as a fan base right now, I'll ask another question in a few minutes because we have to move because people think we're just complaining. But me and Kelster, the reason why we have this show is because we're chatting as if it's just normal people who have made that in the pub chatting. So let me say this. Another thing is, it's the fact that Kusanov is rushed, but come on. Are people telling me you'd rather Nathan Ake in 2025?
Yeah, see, Savio was fine. Like, he's had some subpar cameos. He was fine. Like he was fine against Fulham. He wasn't spectacular, but he didn't do anything wrong, I don't think.
And it's not why we lost the game. I know he made that mistake.
That's not why we almost gagged the game away. It's because it's our midfield. Nobody in our midfield can hold a ball.
Anyway, read the comments.
I'm just gonna keep harping. I'm gonna keep harping on that.
No, just read the comments. Read them. Just read them.
Messed up the lineup versus Leverkusen. Yeah, that's true. And poor Nico G was the only starter who played in that game. That just sucks. So we have to score 10 goals every game. Ake is washed. All right, Teal 7-0 Madrid. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, the Doku goat believes that he still believes in Savinho. I think Spartacus said earlier, he said that let me find the comment. It says he wouldn't have helped us against Fulham. He might have, but
he might have. There was a moment
I could, because you can see Nunes kind of getting tired, and I just want him, like I said this yesterday on another show, I want him to have some match fitness, in case we need to rely on him, because he does have something that Ake and Stones don't have, which is pace. And sometimes you're going to need that late in a game because they brought on a sub, Kevin.
And he's still passionate about defending, by the way.
A few times.
And
thankfully didn't do anything with it. But
yeah, another thing is he's still passionate about defending. These other two look like the passion is gone. That's what I'm saying. What I mean by that is,
who?
I'm saying Kusanov, yes, he's rushed. I don't care. I want a bit of blood. I want a bit of somebody throwing themselves on the floor. Nobody's throwing themselves on the floor. The only time I saw somebody, the only person who throws themselves on the floor once in a while is Ruben Diaz. Josko does it also.
Diaz has been our best defender this year. I think he's been very good.
But he's been pired on. Have you noticed he's been pired on?
Worst.
People want him gone. Yeah, people want him gone.
You tell me he's my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I think he's been poor, and I even advocated benching him after that Leeds game because I want some accountability for these mistakes. The problem we have is he's the only like center back who can pass a ball properly.
Isn't he tired though? Isn't he tired?
Yeah, he won't be able to rest until that knee finally snaps. That's basically what's it's gonna be like Rodri. He's gonna play until he gets just something bad happens. And I fear the same with Holland. Just because I think some of the I'm sorry, Holland, you can rest 20 minutes in a game, you're up 5-1. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're gonna whine about your goal bonuses, then
I think that's
then we have a problem.
I think the goal bonus thing is that's comedy. That's
I literally can't. I lost it. I can't. Donnarumma looks shaky. I don't even.
What does that comment?
Yeah, Phil Foden is he when I'm criticizing the midfield, I'm including him in that. I think he has to be better off the ball. And he's young and fresh. He should be able to do better. And he's been here a long time. He should be doing better. Yeah, the midfield is a problem, not the defense. I think everything in a Pep team, the heart and soul of it is the midfield. And our midfield has declined rapidly in the past 2 years, and you see how far the team has fallen off. And we thought some of it's recruitment and some of it's just holding on to certain players for too long, but we have not addressed this midfield. And, it's like when we got rejected for Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham, it's like they just gave up. And I'm like, what? Like, no, you still got to keep trying to sign those guys every summer. Signing Gundogan at age 34 is not good enough. Like, you need more than that. You can't have a midfield. We went into last season with 33-year-old Kevin De Bruyne, 34-year-old Gundogan, 30-year-old Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, and Rodri, who had just burnt himself out so badly that he got injured one of his first games. Like, that's poor planning. You should have gotten a machine last summer, not Gundogan. You should have gotten a bruiser, like somebody, some physicality, because I know you can get away with, smaller, more technical midfielders against, against Newcastle. We've seen PSG's techies run circles around them, but there have to be high quality. That's a borderline world class midfield all around. They can do that. Like, our older players can't do that anymore, and we didn't bring youth in to refresh it.
You know what though? You need the thing about it is, I think interesting. You need to strike the right balance in that midfield. I think people don't know. People don't know that even you can find that one time Pep actually plays Foden and Cherki as the two in front of Nico, and somehow people are like, "Oh, we don't have any defense in this." It just clicks. You never know what can click. But I think
it didn't, according to that comment earlier.
Don't forget Checo coming from the right. Says
This says, I can rationalize while Pep is doing what he does. He wants to stabilize for now before blooding in young players. It was an exception that Kusanov played as much as he has. The problem is I don't think you're going to find stability with these older players because their quality has declined, and we're having the same problems. And they're getting beat because they're not fast enough anymore, and they're getting bullied because they're not physical anymore. Because it's just the cycle of sports. That's why Michael Jordan's not playing basketball anymore. He just got too old. That's why Ronaldo's in Saudi, because he can't hack it in these good leagues anymore because he's getting older.
That's why Messi's in America.
Fighting the players. It's just the reality of life is you have a certain amount of time at the top level in the sport. And once you start going down, you're not going to get better. You're just not. And
Neymar. Neymar is now at Santos. I know he scored, but come on. Neymar was one of the best players in the world. And his injuries and age. And what I was about to say. Okay, so anyway, guys, we will see through a few comments and then we'll move on to Sunderland. But all I can say, guys, is subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and also like the video so that the video can reach a lot of people. Don't forget to ask your cat, your dog, if you have got a bird, tell the bird, as in like your bird, is it a peacock or whatever, tell them to subscribe to on whatever bird YouTube they use. But anyway,
Katniss has a YouTube account.
yeah. Then Katniss
Cam.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, sell Savinho, Bob, and Lewis. Okay, I don't.
That's not the solution, though, people. I'm telling you, that's not the solution.
Our midfield should have stopped Chukwueze. It's true. And there was a comment about we could have used Kusanov some to foul Chukwueze. Also, I would have. Look, I'm not going to. I have said very little about Mateus Nunes this season. I don't think I'm not the biggest fan of his, but I feel like I don't really criticize him that much. You know, maybe I'll point out a bozo here and there, but I do think generally he's been very good this season. But I think in that Fulham game, he kind of ran out of gas at the end. And I think he was struggling to contain Kevin because Kevin is such a pacey player. And I think he did an okay job, but Kevin did go past him a bunch of times. And so when I see a player like that sub on, a fresh player like that, sub on for an opposition, that's where I want to see a Kusanov. Because, you know, I'm not asking to start Kusanov. I never have. Maybe maybe he could have started a Leeds United type game at home, something like that. But like, I'm never going to say like, yeah, bench Diaz for Husanov or, you know, at Anfield. I'm not going to say that, not right now, but there are moments in games where you can use him. And, you know, when counter a Kevin sub with a Husanov sub to just say, go man mark him. And if he gets a yellow card, fine. Then he learns. As long as he doesn't get sent off, fine. But would you rather have a fresh defender who would ideally be match fit to face fresh legs coming on? Or do you want to keep running with the same right back who's literally played all the games since probably September, since Husanov got injured in the Arsenal game? Because he's going to run out of gas too. Mateus Nunes, as great as he's been, he's going to need some rotation as well. Because
Nico Riley too. Nico Riley's
saying they can't play 70 games a season, and then everybody's advocating for them to play 70 games a season. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, even Nico Riley's running out of gas. They're running out of gas. That's the thing. And do you know what the funny thing is? I know people are like, what's his name is not that. Come on. Nori was the defender in the Prem, and he used to lock up Salah and lock up fast wingers. I'm sorry. Rotate. That's what I think Kels is trying to say, that when some of these players are getting tired, look at your bench and bring some of the fresh ones. Because some of the fresh ones will also put a bit of heart. But anyway, we're going to move to Sunderland. Sunderland. We're just going to briefly.
They're saying it's Pep. Everyone said they said it's not the players, it's not recruitment. It's Pep. Yeah, he's a big part of this too. Like, I'm not going to. Like, I've never said Pep out, but I've never said that yet. But I think he's definitely making some mistakes this season. And
game management is not great.
Thing just feels like an ego thing to me because. I literally can't understand why Marmoush should just get frozen out like this. There must be something going on behind the scenes. And the only reason I say that is because we know Pep has kind of he's had issues in the past where he's run players out of town. Like he ran out Ibrahimovic right away at Barcelona. Like he ran out Yaya Toure. That just came up today. Like he's run out a lot of good players. And so it's just something he does. But so something's going on there. I don't know what it is. I don't know anything.
But you're right though. You're right though, because he's not even getting subbed in certain matches, and you're like, why can't you? I'll be well.
Influence a game 3 minutes into it. He needs to be coming on. Yeah, and if we're in the state where Erling Haaland can't come off with 30 minutes to go in a 5-1 game, then lower your expectations this season. Like you're gonna be disappointed because. As great and brilliant as Erling Haaland is, he's a human being. And we know from experience, he gets injured every year. He has an injury. So I would like to try to mitigate that by giving him this 20 minutes off. I'm not saying bench Haaland. I would never say that. I'm just saying, you know, rest can be 30 minutes at the end of a game. It doesn't have to be a whole game off.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you're right about that. So we move on to Sunderland now.
Jeremy Doku's a human being too. He needs some rotation as well.
Yeah, then that's what I'm saying. Why is Omar Marmoush not even coming in as the left winger? I don't get it. You're right. There's something
going on in the background. That's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah, we'll see anyway. So anyway, we move on to Sunderland. I know you guys have comments, but we're gonna move on to Sunderland. And I says what? We couldn't keep possession or pass from the back. Kusanov would 100% make it better. Come on.
No, I don't. No, I Spartacus. I said I would have brought him on just to deal with Kevin because you match pace with pace. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and we were getting cooked. So anyway, moving to Sunderland, you can leave the comments for now because there's comments. There's so many comments. So moving to Sunderland.
I got distracted on some of them.
By the way,
let's go through them real quick.
Yeah,
I
Kelks
want
is going
people
to do
feel acknowledged.
I know. So Kelks is going to do a very in-depth preview to Sunderland, but we are not going to do like a match preview. Sunderland. We're just going to discuss it. So thinking about
That's
it,
our last comment.
what's that?
No?
Say Mamouche is better than Yokeres.
Jokeris, Isak,
Exactly.
Ekatike, and Sesko. I don't
Do
know
you know
about
what's funny?
Ekatike, but
Do you know what's funny? Nah, he was better than Ekatike when he was at the team. He was
I
the
think they
guy.
just work together as a duo. Sometimes you just feed off of one another, and that makes it work.
So
And
should City,
when you break up the band, they're not as good. Sometimes
so
that can be true.
should City maybe stop buying strikers who play with another striker? That because we can't. Because I think it can happen though at City. I think it's possible. We can play with two strikers. I think we can because our midfield is not that great anyway. So
See?
might as well.
That for me, that's it. The midfield is poor, and some of that is recruitment, and some of it is just Pep has to coach some of these people too. Like he finally coached Nico G, and Nico G's looking a lot better. But why don't you coach Phil Foden a little more to be better out of possession? Can you? I don't know. Like coach some of these guys before just discarding them or benching them. Like when is the I know Jeremy Doku's had a great season, but a lot of people are attributing that to Pep Linders and not to Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, I know,
So,
but I think
I don't know.
it's more to Thierry Henry because Thierry Henry speaks to him. You're saying Thierry Henry has been giving him a few hints. But anyway, let's talk about this Sunderland game. So I watched Sunderland against Liverpool. I've watched Sunderland against Bournemouth, where Bournemouth was beating Sunderland and Sunderland came back and beat them. I've watched Sunderland a lot this season because
Sunderland and Arsenal?
I've been watching Sunderland because when Sunderland plays a team, I always want to see what sort of because I knew we were going to play them, so I want to see what team we're expecting. I'm sorry, this Sunderland team is scary. Xhaka looks like he's capable of still playing at a very high level, and he's actually made that Sunderland midfield difficult. They have got Bobley, who was at Ajax, I think so, and everybody wanted him at a point in time, and he's a very physical, strong striker. Looking at this Sunderland team, it's as if they're the worst thing we can ever ask for. They are a tailor-made team for us, not in a good way. They are tailor-made to cause us trouble. This is what you see trouble is stepping at your door. They fight for everything. They are very physical. They never stop even after 90 minutes. They'll still keep going. So even after 90 minutes, you're not going to start relaxing. They'll keep going, keep going. That's how they've been winning games because when teams relax, Sunderland doesn't stop. They keep coming with a wave. They keep coming attack after attack. The play style is fast, quick, very physical, as I said. So those are look. I'm actually happier that at least it's at the Etihad. Personally, I'm happy that at least they're coming into the Etihad. So at least I have this confidence saying, we might have that a bit of age because it's the Etihad. But if it was away, I'm sorry, I could have been saying we might be going for an embarrassment. But Leeds United came to the Etihad, and Leeds United, they're not half bad. By the way, Leeds United, they were actually playing good football. They were just playing to score. That was the issue. But Kelsey, when you look at Sunderland and the way they're causing trouble to every team, obviously we can't list Liverpool because Liverpool are dusted at the moment, and I don't think anybody should start taking confidence of Liverpool because I see the team is done. What do you think? What's your gut feeling about this Sunderland game?
I'm very nervous for this game. I know I've heard a lot of takes saying like, yeah, we'll slap them. I'm like, I don't think, no, I think the state of our midfield is just really poor right now. Fatigue and, also due to fatigue, but they're very well organized. I haven't actually watched a lot of them, I'm going to be honest, but I talked to Steve because Steve watches everything. He says that we have a lot to be worried about. He said their midfield is very organized and they're very confident, especially Granit Xhaka. Like he said, Granit Xhaka is like the heart and soul of that midfield right now. He's carrying it, and he's capable of changing the tempo within the game too. Like they can play direct and they can beat us with pace, or they can decide to slow it down and just play possession ball, and neither one of them faces them. Lafie is having a very good season, he said, and their keeper is one of the top keepers in the league if you look at the stats. So, and we know we struggle with keepers sometimes. So, if keeper gets hot, doesn't matter how much we're peppering them, they'll just save everything. So I'm definitely very concerned about this game. I think I had a lot of confidence before the break. But ever since the break, we've just looked so off the pace. And like you said, we're letting a promoted team come bitch slap us in the second half of a game at the Etihad. That's a promoted team that's going to go back down. And Sunderland have, they played a lot of big games, and they have a good record in the big games. I think they beat Chelsea, or they drew with it. So they beat Chelsea. Yeah. They got the draw at Anfield. They came back against Arsenal and put 2 past the best defense in the league. So I don't think they'll be scared of coming to the Etihad. And I think it's gonna be a struggle. If we can play the full 90, maybe it's a different story. But I'm so right now, after watching us almost bottle a 4-goal lead, it's hard for me to feel a lot of confidence right now, because that's just the last thing I've had. That's still in my brain. And obviously I know I had a very woman reaction and got very emotional. But, when that's the last thing on your mind, it's hard not to think of that. And, even our last game at the Etihad, we were cruising 2-0, and then just one tiny adjustment, and it just fell apart. And when this team falls apart, they really fall apart. There's definitely some mentality issues in the squad. And maybe the fact that we're getting over it's going to help some of the players, because, I think last season we probably draw the Leeds game. Last season we probably concede the equalizer, and it's probably a 5-5 game. So maybe the fact that we're actually holding on to these wins is kind of a step in the right direction.
It's sustainable, though. Is it sustainable?
Been an issue all season.
But is this not sustainable? That's the issue. It's not sustainable.
No, it's not. And I can see it blowing up in this game. So, because they're very good. They're very organized, and they're not scared. That's a big thing. They're not scared. They're not having any issues. They're having, if they had won yesterday, they would be in the top 4 at Anfield, and they had the chance, man. Their keeper, he found the guy for the winner, and Liverpool got bailed out by Chiesa, of all people.
Yeah, Chiesa. Yeah.
I was watching the second half of that game, and Sunderland, very impressive.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We have to be at the top of our game, and whatever Pep Guardiola is cooking for this, and whatever the Man City players are ready for this, they better be ready for a fight. And we can't lose.
I think we're missing a lot of fighters this year.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Our biggest fighter is Bernardo Silva. Nobody else fights. Nobody else has that, I'm going to die. Ruben Diaz does sometimes, but not a whole lot.
Did you hear this, though? Somebody said the City team needs a man. He says it needs a manly man. And do you know what he pointed out? That says they need Rodri ASP, even if it's 80%. They need somebody who is a winner and who is a proper man. That's what the guy said. He says, what I mean, I need somebody who's going to shout, somebody who's going to have the balls to say, you know what? We're not losing this. I think it's gonna be Rodri. I think at this point in time, it's not gonna be Rodri.
I know. If we're depending on Rodri, I think we're gonna be disappointed.
Who else then can come in?
He can't prove his fitness, man. Then there's no news about it. I have no clue what's going on. Yeah, it's frustrating because he is the guy I want to rely on, but the manager keeps overplaying him and he keeps getting injured. And there has to be a balance to Rodri. You can't even just start him in you have to start subbing him on into games. You can't just throw him in right away and then
he's not even on the bench. Yeah, he's not
going to help us. That's the problem. It's like you're chasing a shadow. You're just not going to catch it.
Yeah, but what do you think of this statement? And I got what the guy was saying. The guy was saying we are looking like a bunch of boys, just a bunch of little boys, and he's saying.
Yeah, we do. We do in a lot of games.
Yeah, he says these guys need somebody who you're like, wow. Maybe the opposite team says, wow, he's here. I think they don't have anybody who's. It should have been Ruben Diaz. That was why people used to tell me Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz is the guy. He's the guy. He's the man. He's the guy who sits in the back and says, let's do this. He puts his shorts up. No, maybe that's why he's never given the captain's armband. Because right now. It's the same as Van Dijk at Liverpool. His leadership has been questioned. Van Dijk is just blaming others and he's the one making the mistakes by pointing at others. I don't know who, because we used to have KDB in here. We used to have Gundogan in here. We used to have Kyle Walker. You can laugh at Walker, but who cares? People said Walker was the voice in the dressing room, believe it or not. Walker was shouting at people, even at City. Walker would bail us out. We used to have all these players who could talk. And right now, I sit down and say, nobody's talking. It was actually Haaland, I think, so who was shouting from the front. He was like, you know what I mean? Haaland was like, no,
That's
you,
bad.
but I think he was trying to say that don't put your heads down. I only saw Haaland doing that. But the rest were like this.
Haaland put his head down in the Leeds game. He didn't show up to that one at all.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in the other game.
He's a bad example for me. I'm sorry. I think his body language at
but
times is atrocious.
Yeah, but you get what
And
I'm
the
saying.
team feeds on it in a negative way, not in a positive way.
But do you know what I'm trying to say? That it was only Haaland doing that, and the rest were actually had their heads down. I saw heads down. And they actually
surprised if he doesn't get the ball, and it's like
I know he does.
Like, he does, grow up.
I know he does, but I'm just saying maybe the guy is right that there is nobody in here saying anything. They actually just fall apart. And you know what's funny? John Stones, you're on the pitch. Why are you not talking? Nathan Ake, you're on the pitch.
Though, I don't think.
But these are the senior players.
It was always company doing the talking.
Yeah, but it's Nathan Ake
talking. Walker was the one getting everyone.
But Nathan Ake was a captain.
Diaz should be doing more of it, honestly.
But Nathan Ake was a captain. Remember, he was a captain at Bournemouth.
He's so quiet. He's a quiet guy. Phil Foden's always been super quiet. You know, and a lot of these guys they're new and they're young, and some of them just haven't developed it.
Tijani looks like a nice, quiet guy too.
Yeah. He's always smiling, so he's like the vibes guy, but he's not going to be the one to be like, "All right, you motherfuckers, we need to get this shit to go." You know,
I don't think Doku can
Bernardo should be doing. Yeah, Bernardo does it, but is he doing it enough? I don't know.
Yeah,
Doku doing it. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah, Doku looks very timid and quiet too. He looks like he's a very timid, quiet guy.
He's a very quiet, religious man. And
this guy.
When the entire pitch is that way, you're never going to get. You know, Donnarumma has that fire and that passion, but he keeps getting booked. He's going to get suspended on his next booking, and so that's not helping.
Well, there's
been a lot of chatter about saying Donnarumma was at fault for that Fulham game. I don't think he was at all.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't at all.
Those are when you're conceding 4 on like a less than 1 xG, that means there's some worldies in there. And that's been a consistent theme for Man City. We give up worldies all the time. It happened to Ederson all the time too. Everyone's like, Ederson shit. It's like, no, it's a fucking worldie. Like a 1 in 200 chance shot making it always goes in.
Yeah. So, but what are we gonna do then? Because as I said, I have actually looked at the team because Nico Gonzalez, I think he's new. It's the same when Rodri came to this team. Rodri wasn't talking. Remember, Rodri, because the CDMs are mostly very temperamental and very talkative. Like Rodri, he was quiet at first, then he started talking, and Remember, Rodri used to get fouled, pushed around, and then the fire came out of him. But Nico G right now is also very quiet.
Eddie's part of it. Vindication.
It says
I'm supporting Ederson on this one.
Nah, come on, Spartacus. Spartacus, without Donnarumma, some of these games could have ended 7-0, 7. Some of the saves are incredible. Let's be honest. Yeah. Some of Donnarumma's saves are incredible. And this particular game of Fulham.
Not taking anything away from Ederson. Let's just
it's not. And Chukwueze's goals were so close. Oh my God, they were just giving him an open buffet. He was getting in our box.
It's Donnarumma's fault that it's so wide open in the box where Donnarumma's not out. He's not supposed to be out there. That's the defense, and I don't know why they're right in front of him. Why aren't you closing the men down? Foden on that third goal, it deflected off of Bernardo, or looked like the pass that the guy hit deflected off Bernardo, but Foden could have closed the guy down and he didn't. Where's Foden in that? Where's Foden? Why is he not getting some heat? Joshko didn't close the guy down on the second goal. Why are we closing anybody down?
And did you see the one where Joshko took it off the line? Did you see Ake and Stones? They were so out of nowhere. They were nowhere. Your defenders, Stones and Ake, you're nowhere. Joshko had to run and he surpassed the two to go and get it out. The two were just, I'm telling you, in 2025, Pep Guardiola, when you're subbing, if you want to look at John Stones and Ake, make them the last subs to bring on. Anyway, what are the comments saying before we close off the show?
There's a million of them.
Just pick the ones that are interesting.
Right, idiotic about Donnarumma. Nico G organizes a lot. Yeah, this is just like the most typical City thing of all time. Like, what? Hey, more vindication for Ederson. Bring back Eddie. You're wrong. Nico G talks a lot.
Maybe
no, Spartacus is not doing that today. Relax. Nico is organizing though. Yeah, these MFs don't close down. Yeah, they didn't close down. Donnarumma is only the blame for the fourth to the punch. Yeah, I'll listen to that argument. Yeah, that was not a very good punch. You don't punch it straight at the guy. Like punch it up in the air, so that it's difficult for him to pull pull it down. Diaz shouting at Phil. Yeah, okay. And then Phil didn't do it. So yeah, good for Diaz there. Get into these players, punch the ball in 18-yard. Well, you don't have to punch it straight into the ground, right to his feet. Punch it straight in the air. And he's a veteran. He should know how to do this. He's not like he's Trafford.
Don't
inexperienced. As an inexperienced player.
Don't throw.
Donnarumma was a teenager and he saved a penalty shootout in a European Cup final. So he's been in big moments. You can do better. Come on, man.
You know what though. Don't throw. Don't throw. Don't throw the Trafford one, because the Trafford one, people come after you. Be like, don't throw it. Where's the Trafford?
You know that I was pro Trafford. So
I know. You know what? Let me say this to Spartacus. Spartacus, if Donnarumma gets another year and is suspended, are you gonna be happy because Trafford will come back and he can build up? Spartacus thinks it. Okay. Spartacus loves the build up.
Matt Hatter says nonsense. Trafford save of the season. I don't know. That one that Donnarumma made in the derby was, oh god, and that was his first game with the club, so that's pretty.
The Leeds one, also Leeds United. I think Donnarumma made a
really good point. He makes our back line consistent, but our build-up is worse. That's why Joško has to be running to the ground. He's the only one in that back line who can do anything in the build-up.
Well, John Stones can
never be held accountable for all these.
Bring back John Stones. Bring back John Stones to the lineup. Bring back John Stones to rest Joško.
You were just whining about Stones and Ake being too slow on that goal line clearance. You really want him starting games?
He starts for England under Thomas Tuchel.
Okay, Don. Okay. Oh no, this is a good point. Build-up is meaningless if our players can't keep possession in midfield and forward. I've been saying that, man. The midfield is struggling to hold on to the ball. And luckily, Turkey was able to for the last 10 minutes. But Turkey, I think, has been inconsistent when he starts games. Right now, he looks like he's better coming off the bench. And I want him to start games because I love the guy. But if he's gonna come be a tempo setter off the bench late in the game when our heads are gone, maybe that's his role for right now. I don't know.
Have you noticed this about Turkey? Even when he came on the Leeds, he almost assisted or assists. He's almost assists or assists. He gets the thing about Turkey. This is what I tell people: when he gets in the box, he doesn't panic. He looks up and he'll find somebody, and he's dangerous that way. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I think when we're winning, just bring Turkey to kill the other team completely, because he will get in the box. And you know what? Haaland, that miss where Foden gave him a beautiful pass and he hit the post. Oh my God, that hurt me so much. Hey
Haaland, if you're gonna whine about goal bonuses, stop hitting the post. You can't sub off a game because your goal bonuses. How about you stop hitting the post and then you'll get your goal bonus.
I don't think Haaland is crying over goal bonuses. Whoever brought that for Gazi's story must be
letting that go, man. That is one of the most absurd things I've ever heard. I'm sorry. I get it. I get that that's a real thing, but I'm like, but that's not a reason to play 90 minutes every game.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? It's just that is not the reason why. Like that's definitely not the reason. Okay. All right. Spartacus says the solution for the Donnarumma is binding players to the midfield side is built for possession with good ball playing keeper. We don't have it. We need physical player. Oh, everyone hated Morgan Gibbs-White. I think Morgan Gibbs-White wouldn't fix everything, but he would directly address a lot of these concerns we're having because he's physical, he's fast, and he's not afraid, and he's nasty. He's basically Bernardo Silva from a couple years ago when he had legs. Bernardo Silva with legs. But obviously not. Okay, that was. I'm sorry, that was a bad comparison.
Yeah, without the skill.
I don't think Gibbs will ever have the intelligence. Football intelligence of Bernardo Silva. So
you know, Gibbs-White was a wonder kid. You know that, right? He was one of the wonder kids. So don't.
All right.
Yeah, don't break it.
Matt Hatter agrees with Spartacus, so that's good. They found peace because they were going at it. Yeah, Marinakis. Yeah, that's true. That's the problem. The players we want, we have to deal with that guy. Oh, jeez. So yeah, this is true. I think a lot of us have we don't know if it's a win now or if it's a transition, and we're trying to just build to get better. It's kind of a mess. It's kind of the both because they're telling us it's a must win, but I don't think we have the players for a must win. I'm sorry, right Pep Guardiola. I don't think we do.
Yeah, but the thing is, Kels, if Pep Guardiola goes to the press and tells us that it's going to be a special season, what do you expect us to expect? That's what he said.
That sounds like a win now, but
yeah, that's what he said. It's
we don't have the players for a win now. I don't think. I think we're holding on to a dream or we're holding on to the past, and it's 2025. It's not.
Wait. Let me ask you though. Wait. I haven't asked you this. I haven't asked anybody this. What would comfort you this season? Like what trophy? If you won, you would say, okay, it was a transition. At least we won this trophy. Would you be satisfied with the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup?
Oh, I would love to win the Carabao Cup. I think one thing I preach all the time is that I say this to Arsenal fans, so I have to keep it consistent. I say the reason you don't know how to win is because you never win a trophy. I think a lot of our players are kind of in that boat right now. We have a lot of young players on this team who are not used to success. And I think the best way to kind of kickstart them into what it takes to be, a top player on this kind of a club is to go win that Carabao Cup. Go do that in February or March or whenever the final is. Get Nico G that first trophy. Get Nico O'Reilly his first trophy. Get Savinho his first trophy in England. Or, I know he's won stuff in Brazil. Get him on that winning attitude, these players. And I think the confidence will breathe. They'll be like, oh, I can get over the line. I can I'm not scared of this anymore. I know what to do. Like, I know what to do in this situation. So get us that Carabao Cup. And, if that's all we win, I would accept that. But I want to win the Premier League. That's not me saying that I don't want to win it. I want to win that so bad.
Okay, what about how far do you go in the, okay. Let's say, for instance, you win the FA Cup and you win the Carabao Cup, right? Let's just say per se, which I think it's impossible.
Yeah, for this squad, that's a great season.
I think it's harder these days. I think the other teams, the smaller teams, have the capability of lifting the FA Cup or Carabao Cup because the other teams are playing the Champions League. We're all busy. But okay, let's say, for instance, you win an FA Cup. How far do you want to go in the Champions League this season? How far?
You'll be satisfied. The quarterfinals or the semifinals, but I just don't. Right now, the way we're playing and the squad we have, I don't see it happening. I think Donnarumma is going to help us a lot in that specific competition.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
Because you need a hot keeper. And if he can get hot in March.
You know what? You know what? Let me say this. And Spartacus might be this. Spartacus, let me tell you this in your face, Spartacus. If we had Donnarumma against Madrid, we're going through in that Madrid game. No lie. I'm sorry.
Which one?
Both of the Madrid games where, remember the time when they came to the Etihad.
The four-peat season.
No, not the four-peat. Do you remember that time when we were we beat them at the Etihad? We were just scoring, but the game ended 4-3 or some shit. Do you remember? Do you remember that game?
That was in 22.
Yeah. Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember KDB?
Yeah, that was before the trouble.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think, and this is just me. Even the Chelsea game, I think he saves that 1v1. I think he's very good. I think he
didn't score any goals in that game, so that's
yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, it's just that Edison was very good at the build-up and everything, but I just feel like in the Champions League, we could have collected more Champions League if we had like a Donnarumma in the Champions League. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from.
What would have made a difference is that
those goals couldn't go in. Some of those goals we are forgetting.
Maybe against Spurs back in 18? Because
thank you.
Dude,
thank you.
Definitely against Spurs, but a lot of it was just
Leon. Do you remember Leon?
Yeah, that was poor. Ederson was poor in that game. So was Sterling, though. That wasn't just him. Oh, Spartacus wants to come on. Should we? Or you want to keep going? I can send him the link.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep going. All right, Spartacus, give me a sec. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, I think it's not an insult to.
You can probably explain his viewpoints better on the show than in the.
Yeah. Look.
You guys, send you the link, Spartacus. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, it's not an insult to Edison.
Yeah, Sam wants him on. Yep. Oh, the chat is clamoring for Spartacus. See?
Yeah, but what is about
we need our tech person or our technical person.
Yeah, what was I saying?
Sorry, I didn't see that right away. I sent you the link. Okay, there he is.
Yeah, Kels, it's the same as Madrid. Do you know what I'm thinking about? Do you remember Madrid in some of those games? where Madrid they were saved with Courtois. I just feel like, look, I love Edison, and I think Edison was incredible the way we played. But I just feel like in the Champions League or one of these cup games, I think in a cup game, I think in the league, Edison will be better because it's in the
Yeah.
league and the way you play. But I think in the cup games, Donnarumma and Courtois, that's why some of these teams sometimes could go through. Because Madrid were going through because of Courtois' saves where you're like, wow, did he see me save that? And then Madrid will just fugazi this goal difference. But anyway, this
Also, I'm
season,
gonna say this though: Ederson had his best game in a City shirt in the Champions League final where we won the game. So
nah,
credit
he
to
was
him. He
elite.
was incredible in that
Nah, he
game.
was elite. Nah, that season he was
That was
elite.
an
That's the season.
incredible game. I thought he should have been man of the match.
He should have been.
That's how good he was.
He should have been tested for drugs after that game. Because my God, he was.
Ederson was incredible that game. Like he was, like I said, he should have been man of the match. I love you, Rodri, but Eddie saved our fucking ass so many times. Late in the game, too, these high pressure. Also, when Akanji made that big mistake on Lautaro, Ederson cleared it. Like he was on a bender that game, and it was.
Do you know another thing is somebody was insulting before Spartacus comes on. Somebody was insulting Haaland in that final. Do people know that Rodri doesn't score that goal if Haaland isn't there? Did people watch that game properly? Do you know that Haaland made a run and he dragged so many people and all of them were focusing on Haaland? If you look at that game, because somebody was telling me that, do you know that Haaland actually was an influence in that if they were focusing on him, then there was a space where Rodri could do that. It's just a lot of players did their thing in that game. But anyway, Spartacus, you're here. Would you like to tell us a few things you're thinking of?
Evening, lads. How you guys doing?
Yeah, well, what was that breathing? Is that a dog or what's that?
It's my dad playing with his dog, with our dog.
Okay.
Shout out to
Yeah.
dog. Big up.
Yeah,
Yes, shout out to dogs, plural dogs.
Dogs. Oh, okay.
Yes.
There you go.
But
So Spartacus, let me just ask you another question here in general. As I said, I have been sitting down. That's why I said, who is to blame, Pep Guardiola or the players? I'm getting confused, Spartacus. You know what's silly? You know, Spartacus, when you say a point and you answer yourself, I keep sitting down and say, oh my God, it's Pep. Then I'm like, no, maybe it's not Pep. Oh my God, it's the players. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe it's not the players. And that's the reason why the other day I defended Savio. I was like, oh my God, City fans are personally contributing to this Savio performance. And number two, Savio is becoming a scapegoat and Bernardo Silva is becoming a scapegoat. And I was like, if you look at everything in general, sometimes things can happen because things are just not working out sometimes. Then I thought about it. I was like, I don't know if I'm wrong here, but I guess you can correct me. I don't think this team.
I don't think
this
there
team
is
not
anybody
built to
to
be done.
blame.
Is it?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't
Right.
put blame on anybody. I think it's just a collective situation. We don't have the squad built in a smart way, and I think that is showing when opposition presses high. This stat that Matt Harter used of best percentage is just quite possibly the second worst possible stat to bring down about anything. That stat is completely meaningless. It's the same as saying that, because this is also another true stat. Donnarumma has the second worst save percentage in the Premier League. So is he a shit shot stopper?
Him and
No.
Alisson are close. Him and Alisson are close,
Yeah.
by the way. I heard, yeah.
Yeah. But does this mean that he's a shit shot stopper? No. It means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. The same with the pass precision and passing accuracy. It means fuck all. So let's just stop with using these terrible stats. And another thing, when you say that Gigi probably win us more Champions Leagues, yeah, you might be right, but because he's a better shot stopper than Ederson. But the thing when you have Donnarumma, you have a trade-off. You're gonna concede more shots, and you're gonna be able to have less shots because of him. But you're hoping that he's gonna save more shots than he's gonna cause, and you're gonna create better chances because you're gonna play more in counter-attacking way because of Donnarumma. That's a gamble. You cannot guarantee that the fact that we're gonna concede less shots is gonna save more of them. That's not assured because they might as well just have worthies like they had against what's the name again? Who did we play this the midweek? Fulham. 'Cause they can have won the shots like they did against Fulham, and there's nothing Donnarumma can do about it. Although I do think that the Iwobi goal, he should have done better, because that's literally the only place Iwobi can take the shots in. So he should have been a couple steps more to the left. But anyways, those are very small details, small margins that I usually don't put it on players. Now, telling me that Donnarumma has been good, I would agree with that. He's been great, but he has also not been good the past 3-4 games. And that has shown that we cannot keep possession because of that. So is this a Donnarumma issue? No. Is this a Pep issue? No. Is this a squad building issue? Yes. I think having Tierney Reinders, from the little I know, and from the way that the players' profiles are made, kind of, from the profiles that the players have, I think we built a squad to have a competent ball-playing goalkeeper in Reinders, Chucky, Aitnohi, all of these techie ballers. But then, at the end of the window, we've seen Donnarumma be available at literally the final stretch, and I was like, yeah, this might be too good of an opportunity to pass on, so let's just get him anyways, and didn't plan and was not planning on getting him. So I think this is the issue here. I think we took a market opportunity, but we didn't build for the market opportunity, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
There's a comment here for you, Spartacus, real quick.
What was
they
it?
said, whether you want to expect the fact that even last season our buildup was poor, not Donnarumma. It's a function of too many project players diluting quality of the team. Main issue, GG second. Do you agree with that?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, so Spartacus, let me ask you based on that. How did you see our build-up last year?
I think it was average.
I got crucified for saying that Eddie
he was flipping keepers, by the way. He was also flipping between keepers. I forgot he was flipping between keepers.
Yes. But also Ortega has better ball-playing distribution than Donnarumma, so even with Ortega, it wasn't as bad as it is today. Look, today we cannot pass a way out of a paper bag if they press us high.
Yeah.
Like,
and that
and this
go on, midfielders who are not pressing out of the, like you just said, the midfielders not doing their job is not Donnarumma's fault. When you
because this is the thing, when you get the ball clean through the first phase and clean into the second phase, physicality doesn't matter, because then when the player has the ball to feed, technical ability is going to reign supreme 9 times out of 10. Let's take an example. You have Wanyama, that Spurs guy that was ridiculously strong. You have him
that guy had to be a bodybuilder. No. I remember him. Oh my god.
But let's pretend he's marking Pedri right now. Pedri, Wanyama. He's marking Pedri. He's one of the most physical players we've seen in the Premier League. He's marking Pedri. If Pedri has the ball to his feet and he's able to turn and face him straight on, Pedri is going to pass. Is going to fly by him 10 times out of 10. There's nothing Wanyama can do to actually try to stop Pedri. But if it is a 70-30 challenge, Wanyama is going to win that 9 times out of 10, because there's nothing Pedri can do physically about it. What changed? You passed the ball to Pedri in a way that it became a challenge, that became a fight for the ball, because the pass wasn't good enough, because the build-up wasn't good enough. But if your build-up is good enough, it's not a challenge, it's not a fight, and you win the 50-50, because it's not a 50-50 to begin with. And I think having Donnarumma creates a situation where you're going to have a lot more of those 50-50s, because we cannot build as fast, as precisely, and as well as we did before. So we need stronger bodies into the midfield. Now, we bought Chucky, not strong. We bought Aitnohi, not strong. We bought Reinders, not a strong player. See how the profile of the players we bought do not fit with Donnarumma. And this is the issue. This is what I've been saying from the summer until today. Donnarumma doesn't fit our current style. Hence what I said. Probably Trafford has a better fit than Donnarumma, because he fits better with the rest of the players. Now that we got Donnarumma, fuck Trafford, we need to build for Donnarumma, because Donnarumma is going to be the main keeper for the rest of Man City next probably 10 years. So we have to get the players to fit Donnarumma, not the players to fit Trafford. And we have to build it up like that.
And Spartacus has been consistent with this. He's not just hating on Donnarumma. Like, I think he's been laying this out in the whole build up to signing Donnarumma. He made all these points very clearly, and I know that he doesn't want to be right about this. I know it because Spartacus and I talk a lot off screen about tactics and stuff. He teaches me quite a bit. So, and his message has been consistent the whole time. He doesn't. It's not the player. It's the setup. It's the manager, and it's the team around him.
It's the profiles.
Yeah,
It's the
Spartacus.
That's what it all comes down to. What is our team doing?
So Spartacus, what do you do then? Like I remember Spartacus, you and me were on Tariq's channel. Big up to Tariq, guys. Go and subscribe to his channel. I love this channel. So we were in the channel. Remember, I just glazed on it a bit. So what do we do, Spartacus? Like, I'm looking at you guys. Like, do you remember that time I was talking about PSG, and you told me that
Anderson.
So Anderson, what about can Adam Wharton also solve that?
It depends. Are you looking at Roger coming back, or are you looking at Roger not coming back?
No, you know that what Adam Wharton used to be a number 10, and he says that's why he's also he's played high sometimes for Crystal Palace, and he plays box to box sometimes.
Yeah, but it's one thing to play high for Crystal Palace. It's different.
It seems like he's not going to. So let's say.
Then you get both. Then you get both Anderson.
I wouldn't mind both because at this point in time we have a soft midfield. I think you wouldn't mind both.
We don't. A winger is not going to improve us 1%.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
We cannot get the ball to the wingers, so how is it going to improve us?
I think the wingers are not at fault. I think our attack is not at fault at all.
No, we scored 5 goals. This isn't an offensive problem. No. We conceded 4 goals. This is a defensive problem. This is a transition problem. We cannot play through people. If it's going to be a battle, we have to build the team for the battle, not build the team for the technicality. And we built the team for the technicality, but it is going to be a battle.
So do you play Anderson? Do you play Anderson next to Nico Gonzalez?
Yeah. You play Nico Gonzalez and Anderson.
And if Rodri comes back this season, is our best midfield Nico G and Rodri? Because like you said, the physical aspect.
No, I would say Rodri and Anderson.
No, this season.
You mean we don't get Anderson?
Before we get Anderson.
Yeah, I'll say yes.
Wouldn't you deploy Nico G as the 8? Even I know that Rodri can play an 8 too.
Nico G is an 8.
World class 8.
Nico G is an 8. He's not a 6. We're trying to make him become a 6, but he's an 8. He's played Academy at the 8. He's played at Porto at the 8. He's played at Barcelona at the 8. So
he's possibly our best. Because I remember we saw a flavor of Nico G and Rodri at the end of the season, and it looked great. Remember, Nico G was attacking, Rodri was defending.
Like 30 seconds.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes.
Scored a banger.
Scored a banger. That's what I'm saying. It worked. I don't know, man.
But he's not our best midfielder, but he's the one we need.
So what about what do you think if we had Kovacic, things would have been better? Kovacic next to Nico G.
Yeah, it looked good against Spurs last season, and we never saw it again.
I don't know. I'm lost at this point.
I don't know. I'd have to. I'll have to see it. I'll have to see them play together this season. I don't know, because Kovacic is not a player who particularly thrives in transition. So.
Awesome. So wait. Let me ask you this.
Oh no! Oh god! This guy just showed it.
Oh my god! It's a fraud. Oh my god!
Fraud is here.
Stop the show. Spartacus, did you invite this fraud? Oh my god! This fraud is here.
Is it Adam?
It is. The fraud called Adam. He's here for
Casper, don't ghost.
Yeah, and I bet you he's gonna have a market background. What I was about to say.
No.
Yeah, what I was about to say. Now you made me forget what I was about to say, Adam. Okay, so Spartacus, what about?
We got an Adam intro coming up.
Yeah,
soon.
what? Okay, because right now I say that if you find a balanced midfield, let's say you bring Anderson and Anderson plays next to Nico G or Rodri or whoever, I say Tijani Reinders will be more dangerous now. Am I wrong? Tijani will be dangerous because you tell him you have no defending to do. All you have to do is attack.
He's fighting for the spot with Foden then.
Tijani
and Foden fight for the role.
So what do you do with Cherky? What's going on here? What do we do with Cherky?
Cherky is the right side player.
Yeah, he inverts. He creates a lot. See, that's the thing. It's like
Cherky is the right winger who comes in field from after the fullback goes up the field.
Can I ask, if we managed to buy Verts, do you think things could have been different?
No. This isn't an attacking problem, so we're looking for attacking solutions. This isn't the attack. This is
I
the
know,
midfield. This
but
is
I'm just,
physicality.
I'm just putting strings now. I'm like, what's going? Because maybe was that Morgan Gibbs White guy? We misjudged him. He could have been way better because he's very physical.
Oh, he would have been miles better than Thierry Reinders for what we want to do. He's not a better player, but for what we want to do, he would have been miles better.
So we're missing engine in this midfield, just an engine.
Let me say this: if we were playing the same way we're playing for the treble season, take out Gundogan, put in Thierry Reinders, that's the perfect replacement. That's the perfect replacement. You take Gundogan off, you put Thierry Reinders on, you don't really lose too much in that. But if you're going into a more transitional physical battling midfield, Thierry Reinders is useless in that regard because he's not a duelist. He's not gonna win duels.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I watched him in this game when we were getting ripped apart. He was joking.
This is turning into a panel. Oh, sorry, Pablo.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy.
Welcome, Pablo. Glad to see you back on Twitter.
You know what? I am happy
thank you.
I'm happy that it's turning into a panel. Like at the end, I'm more than happy. This is what. But let me ask you something, Pablo. I haven't spoken to you in a long time, Pablo.
Long time, man. I hope everyone's well.
I know. So, Pablo, since you've been in the dark all this time, what have you been seeing of this Man City team?
Well, to be honest with you, the main concern for me is the defense. I think, the way we're conceding goals is not right. With this high line and, split open defense. It's very open and no one's really trying to put their body on the line. Like, I'm happy with everything else. I think, obviously, I'm a bit upset with Savio because I put a lot of stocks into him. And he's unfortunately not been playing great. So I think, we should bench him. And
yeah, but he's been on the bench, hasn't he? Though
yeah,
he's been on the bench.
He's a bench player.
Yeah, he's a bench player. He's not our best 11.
No, but I'm saying keep him on the bench. Sorry, wrong wording.
Oh.
I think we should
you
just
don't
keep
want
him on the
subbing
bench.
on the games. I see.
Yeah, and he should learn of somebody else because in the past we've had this where Bernardo Silva was learning off David Silva, Yaya Toure and Fernandinho complementing each other. We've had this in the past, and I think it'll be a good learning curve for Savio to learn off Doku, the way he's direct, because Savio doesn't seem to take on anyone. He just wants to keep the ball. Maybe it's Pep's instructions. I don't know, but I think a lot is to blame on Pep.
I think it's a fan base. Pablo, I think it's a fan base.
Hounded. Yeah, when you're being hounded by the fan base for doing anything, every micro touch you have of the ball is being microanalyzed. And if you take on a player and you beat him 9 times out of 10, people are not going to focus on the 9. They're going to focus on the one you lost.
Yes.
I can understand why he's not taking players on.
Yeah. No, but he should take a risk because he's talented enough to get past players. We saw it last time.
He is.
Against Cucurella, right? He was taking him on. He was getting past him. He was being his man. He was being direct. He was trying to feed Haaland. So, he's actually got it in him. It's not like if a player, for example, doesn't have it in him, then I can understand. But he should take the risk. That's what Doku does. He takes the risk.
Do you remember the Spurs game where he nutmegged Udoji and then nutmegged Sa in a row? The same play. The thing is, and I know a person close to him. Let's just say that Savio right now, what the fan base is doing to him, it's getting to his head. He knows that every single micro touch he has is going to be micro-analyzed and people are going to cuss him out for anything he does.
Yeah, because there's standards at the club.
No, this is not standards. This is abuse.
This is abuse. Don't get me wrong, the Savio part. But there is also, I do understand from some fans' point of view, the frustration. Because there are standards at our club where when we had Leroy Sané, Sterling, and Aguero.
Yeah, but Pablo.
Patrick, I'm gonna defend Savio. There's like what Spartacus said. There's a difference between criticizing someone and then full blown. What was it? Sending abuse.
Wait. Now, Pablo,
does not mean he needs to leave the football club.
No,
There
Kels,
is a goddamn petition to take Savio out of this
I
football club.
am not. I am not.
Hey, for women.
We had to
Hey,
turn
for
his
women.
comments off the social media
No.
page.
Kel,
No,
Kel, for all I know,
no,
Patrick might be the one that started
no,
that petition.
no.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
probably
want.
No, that's more Hamza's thing.
You know what?
Hamza
You know what?
probably
Spartacus?
started it.
Nah, I am not.
Hamza.
I am not taking this righteous speech from Adam. Not you, Adam. Not Mr. Headless Chicken. Not you. Not you.
No.
No,
Me, I'm-
Manchester. No. This is not an agenda. Like,
me,
Savio's
I'm a
young
changed
player.
man now.
He had a good season last season, and for some odd reason, our fan base has turned him into a scapegoat.
Yeah,
We're not
I
going to do
protest
that.
all
Patrick,
young
I'm a
We're
changed
players.
man.
We're gonna critique him when he's poor, but we're not gonna drive him out of the football club. And if Adam does, I'll
protect-
kick him out of the stream.
I'll protect all young players. You start talking about Bob, I'll protect him. You start talking about Doc last season was protecting him. You start talking about Rico, I'll protect him. You start talking about Nico, about every single one, I'll protect them because young players need protection.
100%.
Young players don't need to be cursed out of the football club. You need to give them, you
why-
say,
Definitely.
Why is it Bob who keeps? Why is it Bob who keeps staying home though? He keeps leaving Bob at home.
I say that
Patrick,
Bob's
you know,
behavior has not
Patrick.
been the best.
Spartacus,
See,
I
fine,
think the
Winchester,
right.
you can critique
No,
him
but
for
no,
having a
Kel,
poor shot
I
conversion.
think,
That's
and
fine,
Patrick,
but you
I
don't.
think the writing's on the wall. Bob is gonna probably go out on loan or permanently. The
Permanent.
writing's on the wall
I can see him going. I can see him going Dortmund or something.
because
Or like
listen,
it's
this
going
is
to
like
England.
Milan
this,
or
what this is
It's
like.
going
What,
to
this is
England.
the second. This is the second
Who?
game where he stayed at home, so the writing is on the wall for him.
Yeah.
Just after the
But
Leverkusen
he's
performance
another
as
player.
well.
No, but guys, he's another player as well that got abused for no reason. Like he came like he had a little setback. He had another injury. Then he came back, and then he just got abused. And I think that is obviously like Paolo said, like it's you have to protect.
It's
the
eating
young
on the
players.
players' heads. Yeah,
It's
it
got to the
does.
head. It's got to because I guarantee you some of these players, right, and even the coach, our coach Pep, they watch the shows. They definitely watch our perspective on the team, and they want to know
Not
our
here,
opinion.
not here, not here. No, don't blame
You
me.
never
I don't
know.
have.
You never know, Patrick. You never know. Pep might be watching now.
No, we don't have that in much influence, guys. Don't. I was blamed for calling uncles. It was me. They said it was me who started the unk movement. No,
You
not this.
did. I got no
Wait,
blame for it
wait.
though.
Kel,
You
how are
called
you
by the
getting
way-
out? Wait, Spartacus.
You guys
look
are
at this
complaining.
No, wait, Spartacus. 1 minute. Look at this criminal Kels trying to put all the blame on Patrick. Yeah,
He's
you
not-
were part of it. No,
He was
Kels,
calling
if
them
Patrick,
pensioners.
Kels,
You
if
were
Patrick
calling
is
them
going,
pensioners, Patrick. I
Kels,
see that smile
Kels.
on your face.
You know,
Kels, the
I
same way.
I got
No,
blame for
Patrick,
it.
Patrick, 1 minute, Patrick. The same way I will go down, yeah, for saying headless chicken. Kel is going down with you. I don't care,
Do
no matter
you know
what.
what's funny? Do you know what's funny though? This is low key. Okay, let
You
me admit it.
transferred headless chicken to Savio.
Okay,
I've heard you
let me
say it.
look. Let me admit it. When
I
I
never
say
said
the
that for Savio.
look.
Yeah.
When I said the word uncle, I did not say it in a very, like when you say something, I didn't emphasize it. Somebody took it and made it famous. I just said this uncle, like, and then it just went and flew. And do you know what surprised me, Coxter? Some of the words we were saying in our stream when we were angry, I saw them on big channels. People saying city are full of uncles and pensioners, and city they stop glazing has become a thing.
You know what's the funny thing? You guys are complaining about no player being able to take responsibility and calming the teams out and demanding everybody to do better. But you guys asked for the club to get rid of those players.
Which players?
Gundogan, Kanji. You guys are asking for Stones to go,
You know,
Ake to go.
Akanji was never an uncle. People were just wrong on Akanji, I think so.
They were
It's
just
more
wrong
of
because
a
he's
decline,
been one of the
though.
best Serie A
It's fair to say
defenders.
that.
He's right now one of the best Serie A defenders.
Yeah,
It's Serie A.
there's a woman. There's a
Wow.
woman who made it. There's a woman who made it her private. I know. Wait, she made it. You know, Kelster, I've never seen somebody succeed like you. Well done. You were the president and the vice president of Let's Get.
You guys did the same to Edison for all of his faults. Edison was also one of those guys that shouted at the side to be able to improve and do better. So maybe we need a little bit of age in the team, innit?
Yeah, I can't lie. I was part of the Kyle Walker has to leave.
The Kyle Walker.
That's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
our
the Kyle Walker
performances
phase.
were so poor.
I
It was
was on
actually
that as
costing
well.
us games.
I'll put my
Like
hand
we were
up on that
dropping
one.
points specifically because of like the mistakes he was making, and I don't want to
Players
remember
have
that.
bad
guy,
budgets.
I want to
I think
remember
Kyle-
him as our
Kyle
speed
Walker's one of
demon.
our- Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think his time was up. I think age was getting to him.
Wow,
You know what
infuriating.
infuriates me, and I've
but
sent
he
this
did
to a
really
couple
well.
people. You know what infuriates me, and I've seen this from. I said this to a couple people already. We're giving Ortega a better send-off than some of the actual legends from the football club.
Yeah,
Walker,
we are.
Edison, we're gonna give it better
Yeah.
than Gundogan as well. You know how fucking crazy this is?
Yeah, it is crazy, Sparkers. It is.
Do you, wait, how was Gundogan doing at
Hey,
Galatasaray? I saw him
how
cook
is-
Liverpool though.
How is Ederson gets
Not
alcohol
sure.
out of the last straw? I mean, that was a poor game all around, but I don't think it was down to Ederson. Like, Tijani was terrible in that game. Nori was awful in that game. Like, it was just the setup was a disaster. That's not Ederson.
I think
I agree that Edison had to go, but you needed to show more respect to the guy on the way out. You didn't need to threaten his family to do
I
so.
can't lie to you. I'm gonna kind of sit on the fence here. I think we should have given. Obviously, Donnarumma's a good keeper. Don't get me wrong. He deserved. He got the treble. He won a lot of things, and
so did Edison. Hamza.
No. Hear me out. I wanted us really to give Edison a new contract. I think having an old keeper
Where's Conway?
doesn't really. It's not that bad. Having that experience, having that winner, that mentality at the back. Obviously, Donnarumma's a winner. Don't get me wrong, but having Edison there, and we've had him for so long, I think it would have helped the team. But we got rid of him, unfortunately.
I think a lot of the issues with Edison were self-inflicted as well. We kept him at about 110k a week for 6 years when he should have been up there with Alisson.
Should have been more.
He should have. You cannot complain about the guy not getting.
But he signed. Do you remember he signed these 2 long contracts himself? These 2 long ones. The first one was long. The second one was also a long one.
Well, are we complaining at the guy for dedicating his time for City and not causing problems in the background?
but also the idiots who went after his family. I like that was a big. Like I know friends. I know my friends. Like I know a few friends from Brazil. Even my friends from my country. Family is important. You don't insult my wife. Nor do you insult my children. Nor do you insult my family. You don't do that. You don't insult somebody's grandmother. You don't insult my grandmother or anything. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You don't
for
do
a Brazilian, you don't disrespect the family of a Brazilian. You don't.
You don't.
Yeah,
you don't go after a Brazilian's family. And I can say because I'm Brazilian. I will not say for an Englishman because I'm not English, but for a Brazilian, the culture is so much based around family. You do not talk. You do not threaten somebody from the family. You do not talk bad about somebody's family in Brazil. You don't do that. You just don't.
Yeah, his wife had to be his wife was fighting for her life on Instagram, like with proper comments.
She was in
his
danger.
kids.
She had to delete. She had to like mute her comments because she was getting shit, and I'm like, what?
His kids were getting shit. His kids.
What are we doing? They're little kids. Come on.
These are kids.
That's
9 to 10 year olds.
Little kids too.
That's what I said. The sad thing is you always get degenerate fuckers on social media.
That's the problem with our fan base as well. Like we're quick to turn. Like a lot of them, like will turn on the player straight away. Like people were, like for example, like the Edison example. They'll threaten the family. He's won so much for us. We should thank him for what he's done for us. But our fans are just not appreciative, man.
This guy literally had a concussion for the football club.
Yeah, but can I ask something though? Or like on the Eddie, I don't want to stick on it so much, but the first time was never the family thing. Remember? At the first time when he wanted to leave Spartacus, remember? When he wanted to leave at the beginning.
2 seasons ago, right?
It was money.
Yeah,
it was down to money, yes.
Yeah, because we didn't pay him. He was on what, 90K a week for the whole time?
We didn't
Like,
pay him
that's
enough.
not enough.
We didn't pay him enough. No way.
Well,
We should have respected him more. We didn't.
This
respect
guy
him
is one of
really.
this. We gave Ruben Diaz a pay bump without needing him to get close to the end of the deal. We gave KTP a pay bump without needing to get to the end of his deal. We gave all of those players pay bumps without needing to get to the end of the deal. Why didn't we do it with Edison?
Yeah, we should have done it for Edison. We should have.
You should have just gone to Edison. Look, we recognize your performance. Here's your pay bump.
Alvarez got in less than a year. 6 months for
Alvarez.
Alvarez, you know what? I'm starting to think, obviously we got Mamouche, but Alvarez was a mistake getting rid of him. I can't lie.
Yeah, Alvarez is next
It was a big
level.
He doesn't
Alvarez
play
is next
though,
level.
so I don't know.
Alvarez
next
wouldn't
level.
start today. Alvarez wouldn't start for us today, though.
In the system we play, he won't
In
start,
no
you're right.
system, because we're never going to start with two strikers, right? So that two-striker formation is not going to do it.
Someone thinks we
He's
can,
not good enough
I
to.
wish
That's
Pep
impossible.
played 3-5-2. I wish he
We're
played
not going.
3-5-2.
We don't
We're
have the
never gonna
defenders
do
for
Never
that. We
played.
don't
I
have the
wish he does.
midfielders for that. We don't have the players for that.
Yeah, it's
We
all the
don't have the
midfield.
players
All
in
the
the
midfield. This is
midfield.
not
We
a
don't have any.
Dr.
we
Agenda
can play.
matter.
I think the players could play a 3-5-2 formation. Actually, I
That's
think
not
Adnori can play as a wing
Sorry,
back.
that's not true. That's just not true.
Well, you don't think we have the players
boy.
for that, Gundo?
Yeah, but Gundalorian's here, in case anybody missed that.
You think
For the
we don't have
3-5
the
for the
players to play a
3-5-2. though.
3-5-2?
Everybody, not
Wait.
all,
I'm
Not-
interested in
not
hearing
all, the,
Spartacus
not
and Gundo
everybody,
talk
but
about
we have
this.
enough. We have a good complement enough.
Yeah, we have enough. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Not everyone.
No, we do have
because
enough.
we got-
We do have it. It may not be everybody, right? But we do have enough. We do
Exactly.
In the
have enough.
3-5-2,
The
Doku
issue
doesn't
is that
play.
he won't do. Then that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, what?
Doku is one
That's
of the
fine.
best players on the planet right now. I
Yeah,
have
but
to
we
find a way
got.
to
Yeah,
get
but
him.
we got. Yeah, but then if you have Mamouche and Holland up front with Cherky behind them,
Yeah,
that is deadly.
but-
That's direct. That's
You can
more,
listen.
that's
You can play different formations based on the opposition. You can play different formations based on the opposition. That's what I'm saying. But don't just stick to a formation where you know these guys are struggling. You know, I mean,
I don't think there is
Kelly
a
and I
fix
had a
with the
debate
current
earlier on
personnel.
today. If you're 5-1 up and become 5-4, it's not the players, it's the system and the lack of control. You know,
Exactly.
enough. That's the issue. So you're 5-1 up. 5-1 up.
How do
And
we
it's
fix it,
5-4.
Carl?
Talk to your
With
manager.
the players we have, how do we fix it?
It's the manager.
It's there already, Kelly. You're 5-1 up. It could have been 7-1. It could have been 7-1. It could have been 7-1 with all the chances that we missed. So he's got it right. The question is, what changes did he make? What instructions did he give them? And when the opposition made a change, did he adapt quick enough? That's it.
Yeah.
How
So
should he
would
have
you say-
changed it? Or,
Would you say we
'cause you
should have
said
gone
the
to
manager
3-5-2?
changed. Yeah.
I don't know if that works in that game, but all I know is that something happened in that game and he didn't react on time. I mean, Iwobi was free in the midfield. Nobody was marking him man to man. We left him alone.
Yeah,
You
the
drop
marking
people.
Is
was
that
very
because
poor
we
that
took
game.
Nico G out, or because like John Stones maybe just couldn't do the same job that
Yeah,
I think Nico G was still on the pitch. No? I think Nico G was still on the
so-
pitch. No?
So when
Nico G what?
I think he was.
when Marco Silva changes formation and drops it will be a little deeper to get on the ball some more and picking the ball in wide areas where we're weak, and you don't react, what's going to happen? That's what's going to happen.
You're gonna
It's not
crumble.
hard now.
Yeah, Gundalorian is Carl. Yeah, so the chat is asking. The chat is
That's
big upping you.
something Somebody says who's speaking with a low voice. Yeah, that's Carl.
So.
I'm driving. That's why I'm driving. So
Oh.
I'm listening. I'm driving. But that's what I'm saying. Go watch what happens in the game. What happens in the game is that they push Wobie deeper and nobody's picking him up. And he's pinging balls left, right, and center. You're having Chukwueze versus Nico 1v1. That's a mismatch.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
Good.
yeah.
So
You got
is it
fullbacks
maybe
from
because we took off
Kelly.
the DM and put it.
Kelly, you
back
went
in
from
there.
4 center backs in the treble season to 2 fullbacks or midfielders. What do you expect to happen?
Well, do you think you noticed at the very end, Nico O'Reilly kind of went into the 6 and John Stones moved back to the back line. Do you think that kind of changed our fortunes and is the reason we held on for the win?
Nico
Or a
was
factor, maybe a
horrible.
factor.
at the six.
No, I think Cherky coming on stabilize the team too as well, right? Make better
Okay.
passes,
Yeah,
better.
Cherky
So that's a
was a
positive
big-
sub, yeah. I
Yeah.
love that Turkey substitution. He was great.
We almost got seen it in the last second because Nico Raleigh doesn't track his runner, but Josko is on the. He makes a clearance on the goal line, so.
So what's happening
Nico
in
Center
Nico?
backs are nowhere to be
Riley's
found.
he's a good player. He's doing well, but
It's just not a
again,
midfielder, I don't
he's
think.
not a midfielder, and I think we need to, when Adnori's back, get Adnori back in that left back position, give him back his chain, and get a right back, because this is
Where
not
do
going
you
to solve
play
anything.
Nico?
We need a proper
'Cause-
right back. Nico O'Reilly is a good player, but I'm sorry, for me, for the standards that Manchester City have, I think he needs to be on the bench and maybe come on for a few minutes. Nouri maybe.
Wait. Whoa. Hamza.
He's been
The kid
brilliant
has
as a
been.
midfield.
No.
Nico's
Honestly,
good.
He's been very good for the left back. When he
Nico's good, but I
pushes
think-
forward, he's been great.
I think
And
Nico's
defensively
good.
as well, has been brilliant.
Nico's been
Yeah,
one of our
Nico's
best players
good.
this season.
Nico is good though. If you lose Nico to Chelsea, that guy's gonna cook at Chelsea. So be careful. Be very careful.
Yeah, but
I think he
I
goes
don't
to the
know, man.
bench
I
at
think I know
Chelsea
he's better.
because he's not a midfielder and he's not better than Cucurella, I don't think.
He's a midfielder.
That
He's
is
just a
kinda
young.
true,
He's
yeah.
a
He's not
a
benching
young.
Caicedo or Renzo.
He's a young box-to-box midfielder, right? He's young. He's very young, right? He's a young box-to-box midfielder, you know. But that
So you
guy
think
is
he's an A?
physical. He's physical. He's athletic. He can run. He can carry the ball. You know, on his game, he can play well. He's a kid. He's going to make mistakes. Don't let that guy go, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be a mistake.
Nah, you didn't
I
sell him.
think he's
You
a
didn't
better
sell him.
fullback. I think he's a better fullback.
I love when he brings when he pushes up and crosses into the box like that.
You know,
he's cooking there.
Kelly. You know Nico's best position, wing back.
he'd be a good wing back.
So
He's a
if we
wing
had a 3-5-2, he'd be one of the wing
3-5-2, like
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah.
3-5-2 has to happen, man.
Do you think
Okay, now
Nunes
that's
could
the-
be a good wing back?
Okay, now here is the question though. What are we gonna do with
Nori
Nori?
would cook there too. I know. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about
but
Nori
he's
in a
gonna be on the
3-5-2
Can't lie,
wing
Nouri
back.
needs to
Yeah.
take Nico Riley's chain again, man.
Yeah, but so it's gonna
I
be on
like
the bench.
Nori.
So come on, what are we gonna do with Omar Mamouche and Nori? What are we gonna do with them then?
They're gonna be on the bench until they're able to, until they're better than the starters. If we lose them, we lose them. We lost better players in the past. We're gonna lose better players in the future.
I think Nouri needs to fight for a spot. Same with Mamouche, because Mamouche, obviously, we don't play two strikers, unfortunately. So Mamouche needs to obviously compete for the left or the right hand side. And who else was the other player, Patrick?
Okay, so
Like
Nori,
Nori.
Kusanov, all these players, like Kusanov, come on.
Kuznetsov should get in my opinion. I think he's good enough. But Pep's not trusting him.
Where does Kusanov start?
I'd put Kuznetsov in there, I'll be real, man. He's a
Where?
solid defender.
My question is where?
I think everybody wants Josko gone.
No. Just go.
Are you sure you want to build?
Diaz as
You
well.
want a backline of Diaz and Kusanov?
Big
We
Ben.
can't pass our way out of a paper bag with those two. We're not gonna be.
We want
Don't even bother.
Big Burnley. Spartacus, we want Big Burnley. We want Burnley defenders. That's what we want. Big Burnley.
Apparently.
Early defender. Who?
I'm saying if you have Kusanov and
Burnley
Diaz are
type
pure
of defenders.
Oh.
Don't
Yeah,
care
we want
about
them-
passing, just
defenders.
take out
Pure
somebody.
defenders. The
I don't know,
tackles
yeah,
and break-
we got a stubborn manager, unfortunately. He won't play three at the back, so
I don't think we have the setup for three at the back. We don't have the players.
I think some players we do. Unfortunately, I disagree. I think we do have players. That
I think
good
if
enough to play 3-5-2.
If we
I-
do move
some
to
of them
three at
are.
the back, we lose too many players who are too good to not play. Foden can't play then because you're gonna start Choki at a 10. Doku cannot play. I think you're gonna lose a lot of output from one of the two midfielders because you're gonna have two defensive-minded players there, and I don't think we have a second one. If we have Rodri, then it's a little bit better because you can maybe play Nico G and Rodri. But are you sure that you want a midfield two of Nico G and Bernardo constantly?
I think we should try. I think we should
Yeah, that
try
was my
it.
question. If we did do 3-5-2, what would the midfield be? Because the five, two of them would be the wing backs. Would be O'Reilly and Nunes, or Nori and Nunes probably. So who are the other three? You said Cherki, and who else?
Jerky, Nico G, and then
And Rodri.
If you-
But
Isn't
I'd whack in. Obviously, if Rodri's injured, then I'll whack in Bernardo Silva there. I'll be honest. You got a runner there. He can run.
Yeah, but
Then you
Silva
want-
hasn't
You
been
have a
the
runner
issue.
for 60 minutes. You don't have a runner for 90. then.
Yeah, but then we sub. Then he takes a rest as well. Then because we need a dog in midfield. We need someone like Bernardo Silva.
I think all we need-
I think we need the Bernardo Silva from like 4 years ago. 2025
Yeah,
Bernardo
but-
Silva's just not.
we just need to
Fine.
hang on. We just need to hang on to January, buy Anderson, and keep the same starting 11. Put
That's what-
Anderson in the
I don't think-
midfield.
So let me
I think
break
Anderson
some
is
news to
more
you.
of a summer's
Let
transfer.
me break some news to you, Adam. Adam, they ain't buying anybody in January, man. What's this illusion? Who's telling you these things, man?
Yeah. They're
Who's
not
telling
buying
you these
anyone in
things? I'm not buying anybody in January, man.
Even if they
spent
don't,
too
this
much
is what
money
I
already.
think they should do. I'm not saying they will do. I think this is what we should do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you with that. But I'm just saying that anybody who says they're going to buy X, Y, and Z, ain't buying anybody, bro. Ain't buying
Yeah, they're not.
anybody.
Yeah, they're
I
not.
do
It's gonna
think
be
that
tough
there
in
is a chance of
January.
buying because there is a World Cup at the end of the season, so it's going to be harder to buy players in the summer. So I think they might try and
Ooh, I know
make a little bit of those deals beforehand, especially to players that they know they're going to be in the setup. Like Elliot Anderson, he knows he's going to be a midfielder for England. It doesn't matter how he performs the next 6 months. Semenyo as well. He knows. I don't think Ghana is even in the World Cup, so he doesn't even need to worry about
Yeah,
that.
but Spartacus,
The
I'm
only
not
player
sold.
to
I
get a
don't think.
rest this summer.
Do you know what? Spartacus? I am not sold on Elliot and Semenyo because they've just had one great season. I just feel like they're just the flavor of the month.
I don't think Semenyo improves us at all.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I think
either.
Semenyo struggles. I think Semenyo struggles in this setup.
He is a
Also,
better
Semenyo
winger than
cooled
our
off since the start of
wingers,
the
but
season.
he is a better winger than our wingers. But the issue is not the attacking anymore. The issue is physicality in the midfield and ability to get out of a press. The winger is not going to help him that.
Also,
Bro,
ask
listen,
this
I mean,
question:
Kelly,
how
let
would
me just
Pep play
let me
Semenyo if he'd ask
let
him
me
to
let me
invert? And I don't think he can
let
do
me
that.
let me retort to that. Our wingers, except for Doku, are horrible. Let's be clear. Even Doku himself is struggling. Let's not pretend. Savinho, Bob, Doku are not the level that we had. Let's be clear. Let's not cover this up, man. Right? Let's be clear. When you compare the wingers that we used to have with what we have right now, there's just no
Yeah, nowhere
comparison.
near.
There's just none.
But
It's just it
again,
is what it is.
I took
We
what
play
I
with
said.
those wingers, though.
He's better than our wingers, but the problem is not the attacking anymore. We scored 5 goals and considered 4. We scored 3
No,
goals and considered 2.
I agree with you,
It's not.
but the problem, the reason why is because we have some wingers who cannot defend, who cannot track back. 1v1, they give out corners.
And Doku
Right?
is
We saw
guilty of
that.
that too.
We saw that.
I don't think
Yeah,
either
we'll just
winger
have to
really.
disagree, and that's one. I agree to disagree because you're not going to convince me of that, and I'm not going to convince you in the opposite. So that's just agree to disagree.
Well, Carl, you say that we should the way we should have done Fulham is we should not have taken our foot off the gas. I'd be interested to hear Spartacus's kind of response to that.
Well, I said the same thing. I think we should have continued going for the neck.
I think Patrick
Yeah, we
said
should have
that.
kept scoring. We should have
Yeah,
kept going for the
Very
goal.
Yeah,
curious
I
on
don't know.
this.
So Spartacus,
It's a good conversation.
So Spartacus, I wrote a thing saying just because of how we are, and Spartacus, you alluded that our midfield is not that great. So basically, we cannot soak our pressure and shit. I was like, we should have just continued going for the neck, regardless. Just continue going at them.
I mean, we tried to. We were just not good enough.
But as
Josko
soon as we
Baggio had a chance to score. Haaland had a chance to score.
but as soon as
Cherky had a
we
chance
took,
to score.
Savinho had a chance to score.
but as soon as we
Which one?
took
I don't
out,
remember that one.
as soon as we took, but as soon as we took
He had a
Nico
breakaway
G,
and he fumbled the ball.
yeah, but as soon as we took
He had
Nico
a
G and
breakaway
Doku,
surrounded by 5 players. That's not
yeah,
a chance to score.
yeah, but as soon as we took Nico G and Doku out, we seemed like we just went a bit timid.
Again, I think this is not us being timid. I think this is us not being able to pass the ball out of a press to get it to get out of a press. If they go man to man on a high press, we just can't do anything about it.
Okay. So anyway, let me ask people. Since me and Kels, we already spoke about it, but you guys can glaze a bit on it, or you can bring your bit of opinion. I'll start with Spartacus. I'm gonna go to Pablo after Spartacus. Spartacus, what do you want to see against Sunderland? Because I've been watching Sunderland. They look like trouble.
Oh, just play the same 11 that we did. It's working. We're scoring goals. So
What would you do different though? And so, let's say, for instance, we are 3-0 up. What would you do different now?
hope that we don't concede. Like, there's nothing we can do differently. Like, there is no combination of players who's going to make us win the 50-50 challenge in the middle of the park. There's no combination of players who's going to improve our build-out from the back. Unless we play Stones and Josko Baggio together with, I don't even know who the winger combination would be better. Maybe I know he's been horrible, so not even him. Midfield has to be that one. The wingers and the striker doesn't really matter for the build-up, so don't even going to mention them. So there's no combination that's going to particularly improve our build-up. So just hope that we're able to defend like we did against United, against Burnley, against all the teams before the break. That's all there is to it.
You know what? The Brentford one, I was impressed, Pablo. Did you see Brentford? We were 1-0 and we managed to hold Brentford. We managed
Yeah,
to
we did.
hold. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like on touching on
Donnarumma,
Spartacus'
very good in
point.
that game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was.
very, very
And
good.
I think we need to, if we're 3-0 up, I think we just need to keep trying to score goals, keep the momentum, keep the flow. Don't change to sit back and try to control, because you've been trying it all the time and it's not working. So I think we should just try kill them off, Patrick. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that is true. What about yourself? Is it Adam? Wait, is it Adam or
We
Kai
have
who's
to
next?
hope we bring in a body
Yeah, I'm here.
in January then,
My
because
thing
we will
is-
run out of gas by
My
February
thing
if we
is-
keep doing that.
My thing is, if we are winning, need to manage the game a lot better. That's all that I would say. Pretty much just manage the game a lot better.
That's easier said than done. Adam.
Yeah, it's
How
easier
do,
We
said
are
than
five
done.
one
how
up.
do we manage the game better? Do we try to keep the
Adam,
ball?
Adam,
Do we sub
Adam-
fresh legs on and try to keep
Yeah.
scoring? Like how do we
Yes.
manage the game?
The answer can't
only
be
thing-
scored 7 goals.
The only
Right.
thing I could say,
Kelly,
I'm
it's
with
very,
you,
it's,
Spartacus.
it's
I don't
very simple.
understand this.
Kelly, it's very simple. It's very simple. There's certain players who are not ready to come in, and I can name them. I can tell you who they
Name
are.
them. Name
Right.
them.
Savinho should
Savinho,
be
we all
nowhere near
knew
on that
that.
field. Should be nowhere near that field. Not at all. Nowhere near. I'd rather change shape to something else than put that guy in there. Because it's just awful. It's
He's
just
messing
awful.
up the flow. He's messing
It's
up the
just
flow.
awful. I mean, guy falls down with the ball attacking. I mean,
He's under, but Carl, he's under pressure. People are all the eyes are on him.
it's just not good enough. It's just not at that level. He needs more time.
Yeah, but Carl, we were discussing that there's a bit of abuse and all eyes on him. What did you do as a manager?
No,
If
I mean,
you-
if he's
if a
gonna
player
play,
couldn't
if
under-
he's gonna play, if you're gonna play him on the right side instead. So at least he can
Yeah.
invert, right? At least do that. Bit more
Be on a
control.
stronger
Play him on
shooting
the,
foot, so maybe okay.
yeah, play it on the left side. Just gets cooked. He just can't dribble past.
He can't play on the left. He can't.
This is the
Upfront,
only
right.
thing I agree with Carl, by the way.
Yeah.
Playing
so
him on
he
the
need-
left is a disservice.
Yeah, he needs time. He just needs time. Sorry.
You know, it's our fault as a fan base. We were the ones pushing Pep to play this kid at the right and now at the left, and now he's at the left. We are. Do you know what, Spartacus?
I
You were
never
right.
said that.
Yep. No, not you, Spartacus. I'm saying you were right. The fan base, we were crying and pushing Pep to take him off the right hand side. Now he's on the left. We're abusing the player. It's us as a fan base, including me, who were saying Pep play him left while he was cooking at the right hand side.
I
He
was
Anyway.
always saying
left
he's not a
last
left
season,
winger.
though. But last
Yeah, but
season
that's
he
what I'm
was
saying.
Always
cooking
said he
on
was
the
a right
left.
winger as well.
Yeah, but
If
that's what
you
I'm
want
saying,
to-
Spartacus. That the fan base is we're responsible. We keep crying for things. It's the same way as when we were crying for Cancelo to be a right winger and Cancelo.
Oh yeah.
This is the thing. Let's say we put him on the left winger. He's usually Pep puts him to hug the touchline. If he goes inside, what do you want him to do on his right foot? Put a cross into the back post for Haaland, take a shot on target from nowhere. He's not gonna do that. So his only option is to go down the line. You're limiting him to going down the line. He's not got a strong weak foot, so he's not gonna put a cross from the touchline with his weaker foot. He's always gonna try to get on his stronger foot. Now, if you get him a little bit closer to goal, maybe he can drive with the ball into the penalty box. That maybe he can then try and take a shot on because it's a little bit more central, so it's easier to get a shot off. So maybe he can just go drive and do a little 1-2 to get into position to take shots, to take crosses, to do something along those lines. Maybe that's better. But playing him as a touchline winger on the left side, it's mental. It's mental.
It
Yeah,
doesn't work.
it
It doesn't
is.
work.
It is.
And that's
It is.
not
So-
Savinho's fault because he's just doing what the manager is telling him to do. So that's not his fault.
And it
also,
goes back to the manager. Goes back
wait,
all
wait,
to
wait.
the manager.
It also goes back to the fan base. We were the ones crying that put Savinho left wing. I keep receipts. All of us, including me. We were crying for this. And now
The
we are
left
complaining.
I never
wingers
said
shouldn't.
that.
No,
I never
you,
said that.
Spartacus. Not you, Spartacus.
No, I know. I just want to make this sure because
Me and Kels were on the gang. You know, 'cause I'm hanging. Me and Kels were part of the gang with them. Play him left. Play him left. Remember me
Yeah,
and Kels were like, play him
I
left.
thought he was very good on the left last season. Yeah.
By the way,
So,
do you guys remember the only goal he scored this season? Where did he score it?
From
In
the
the cup.
right.
From the
Villarreal
left.
game.
No,
Or was
no,
it
no.
from the
He
left? I
scored
don't remember.
against the Huddersfield, but from the left.
yeah,
But
I
where
know.
was
I
he?
know. The roof
Where
one. The
was
roof
he?
one. The one
Yeah,
left.
He was
Didn't
at the
he start
back post
against
from
Villarreal
across.
also?
No, he got an assist there. He didn't score.
I thought he had a goal.
He
and
scored
an
it from
assist.
the. No, it's
I
just
gotta
an
look-
assist.
I gotta look that up.
Now
Okay.
he scored it from the back post, running into the back post to get at the end of a cross. This
Okay.
run is not available when Haaland is on the football pitch because Haaland is doing that run. So you can't have two players doing the same run. And it's the same for Doku. He's not going to be doing that run into the back post that's wingers usually score from because Haaland is doing that run. So asking our wingers
you're
to
right.
score a lot of goals is never going to happen while Haaland is on the football pitch. As
Yeah,
long as
it's
he's
not.
doing the
I
back
told
post runs.
people to call. I told people that on that part we're gonna end the show. It's 2 hours. Big up to people. Kelkster is gonna do a preview for the game this weekend.
Let's
She's
do it
gonna do a
tomorrow
preview.
sometime.
Yeah, so
I'll
that's
be there.
tomorrow anyway. Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. Don't
put
forget
that
to
up.
subscribe and don't forget to like the video. And from the Pat and Kels Show episode 20, we say goodbye and enjoy
Yeah.
your weekend, guys. Don't cry when Sunderland
You too.
slap us at the Etihad.
No,
Yeah, thank
Sunderland,
you
we're gonna
for the
slap
panelists for
Sunderland. Don't
joining.
worry.